All right, let's do a cheers to the Sobeys and Safer Liquid Beer for the podcast.
Be right again.
I love you guys.
Careful, that cake's hot.
Check-in, come on, let's go. It's the AM Nasty Big Hello. It's not static, AM radio.
Evan!
It's the Cool Ben Red Hot Nielson Show. Let's go. Everybody tuning in, even my wife.
Mommy likes too.
And those Macramalla intros are cutting like a knife. Hey, it's Mitch texting in, he's your dealer for life. Let's crack a 6 o'clock and log you with some sirloin bites.
.03 on the Nielson Show. What's going on, everybody? How do you do?
Dab it up.
Fired up to be back, man. Fired up to be back. I totally miss getting up at 4:30 in the morning for the last 8 days.
You were doing it down in Disneyland?
No. Actually, we were so exhausted after long days in Disney. I was sleeping terrific. It's not even like the get up at 4:30 and go pee thing like you do when you're, on the weekends and you're like, oh, my body's waking up. Better go take a piss and then go back to sleep. It was none of that. I was so exhausted.
Got to get spot that omelet line,
25,000 steps a day down there. Just my dogs were barking.
Those Skechers were getting a...
Oh, man, they did not work. My toes were blistered up pretty bad. It was not good. I get home after every day at the park and I go to the kids. The Muzz thought this is the funnest thing. I put my feet up and go, oh, my dogs are barking. And then I go with my foot and Elizabeth was like, ah! She thought it was the funniest thing in the world. So... great trip. Fun to be back. Disneyland's still awesome. And it was a good time. My mom and dad were there for a couple of days. My sister came in for a couple of days with her kids. So it was, it was terrific. It was a lot of fun, but 25,000 steps a day. It was the one day it was 27, 28.
Return them.
Maybe I will. And they were the classic go-to Skechers, but it just, I don't know if any shoe can get you through 25,000 steps at Disneyland. It's just, it's asking a lot. It's asking a Bouchard to play 30 minutes a night turnover free.
R&H could get you there.
The Nuge right now. That's one of the things. The Nuge is good again. This is what I realized while I was gone. Somebody says I have to check in with you on a controversy around the office here that the COO has created.
Yeah, I wasn't here Friday, but Matthew Iwanek, I guess, went off on charge. I think he hit Charlie in the face.
No, he didn't. So that's what it is. Iwanek went off on charge?
Yeah, he expressed his... look, Fergie's prostate doesn't like it either. There are people out there.
Oh, darn.
Same with Creed.
Really rattled.
Well, hey,
Fergie's prostate doesn't like Chin Strap Awareness Month.
Matty had a bit of a Friday, I guess.
I guess we can't. I guess we can't promote positive things around here.
I was talking about Truck Month at South Fort Chev more than I was talking about Charge.
The award-winning South Fort Chev winners of the 2024 GM President's Club Award. What does it mean? Well, it means when you go to South Fort Chevrolet, you're going to be in good hands. That's what it means. Plus, it's Truck Month, as Eric mentioned. Deeper discounts. and interest rates, better interest rates on Silverados and HDs at the award-winning South Ford Chevrolet. Drive a little, save a lot. South Ford Chev, www.southfordchev.com.
Just under a week to go. And you're looking good on the. You didn't shave down there. You don't trim
Didn't
it up.
shave. Hair has not been cut.
Yeah.
I'm riding it out. I'm riding it out at this point now. If you're happy that we're back together again, hammer the thumbs up for us. Okay, so a lot of people, I love when I come back, people start ratting out other people in the chat. It's good. I like to see that. You gotta keep everybody accountable. Box Pounder wants a conch for everybody. Who did job while I was gone. Love that. All right, let's Penner's Pancakes says, has Dusty been briefed on the Atif saga? What happened with Atif?
Yeah.
I do know that Jonty and Victoria emailed me an Atif song last night that I did send back to him because I thought the lyrics were a little bit drowned out by the music, but I might be able to play it anyway. But what happened with Atif?
Trevor had a hell of a weekend last weekend. He got to go to the Jets game on Thursday.
What?
And then, yeah.
Trev, I'm proud
to
for
the
you,
hockey
buddy.
game.
That's great. I'm happy for you.
Yeah.
Thank you. It was
God,
awesome.
I'm proud of you for getting to that game.
And Atif was there too.
Did you go in the
you.
press box?
No,
Or
it
you
was
just
the
went,
stepdad. Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
And then Atif was there. Did you see Atif?
No, I tried, and he just left me on red.
Atif brushed you off?
He totally did. I had a beer in hand.
So is
and-
that the Atif saga, or is there more to it here? What's going on?
Yeah, that's pretty well it. He
Okay.
vented his frustrations mightily on Friday, which I was...
On the show?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I got a text. I got a earful of it.
Oh, no.
Some of the nasties did. It was a tough show. Like, I was getting ripped apart from Atif when I was ripping him apart. Like, he's the one that left me there.
What is going on?
Stranded. And then Matty, he's obviously was in and he was just ripping Charch apart. I tried my best.
God.
Will and Matty are very
We can't
consistent.
have a Will and Maddie show.
No,
it's
like,
just that
those are
they
wild.
turned
I
on
didn't know
me.
that was a thing. I would have never left.
And I needed you guys bad because I did what I could. And the nasties saw that. They saw my effort. But then Matty, he grabbed Charlie there, and I was like, "How dare you!" And he ripped Charch, and it was tough. It was really tough.
You should not have to deal with this slander, Trev.
Yeah, and it was really tough because he was saying SG every other word. It was bad. And
My God.
I was gonna mute his mic, but
You should have. I mean, at that
you
point,
imagine?
it's your show. Like, you have to keep that show under control.
yeah.
Yeah.
I know. I should have, and I regret it. Looking back on it now, I should have. What was he gonna do? You know, he might have been like, "Hey, don't do that again." But that was it. And then so that happened. And then Atif, on Monday, he announced that he's taking his talents elsewhere, whatever that means. But he will not be in the chat, and he hasn't been in the chat at all.
Gone all week.
He's been gone all week, and no one's heard from him. But he's like, I'm done with Trev. I'm done with EST.
Okay, well,
But he never had a membership anyway.
Yeah,
You can't be out of something when you're never in something.
This is the song that Jonty sent me last night. I have no idea what was going on, so this totally caught me off. I don't know.
I'm just a broke down boy, wheeling his wheelchair around the city. I listen to EST, but I don't have no EST membership. Cause I'm a broke down boy, wheeling his wheelchair around the city. It goes downhill from there. I'm a nasty that listens to EST. I don't have no EST membership, but one day I will. I try to sneak into places without a membership and try to see what I can get for deals. It goes downhill from there. It goes downhill from there. It goes downhill from there.
So I get this email from Jonty last night. I'm like, what is going on here? So did
hell of an
did
impersonation.
Atif send that song into you guys, or did he just send that specifically to Jonty to put together a song?
I guess he has Jonty's number because I didn't get that. So
Wow. All right.
they
So
must
there
be
you
friends.
go.
That's where he took his talents.
That's the latest
Yeah.
from Jonty and Victoria. I'm a nasty who listens to EST, but I don't have an EST membership. I try to sneak into things and see what I can get from EST.
Jonty, the man of 1,000 voices, eh?
God, there you go. That is the boy. We are back. We are back. We are so back. I don't know what's going on there, but
Yeah.
man, I leave for what 6 shows.
Terrible.
6
It
shows.
was just terrible.
God. 780-218-9999 is where you can get in. Rip City Steps says, how do you live in this house of lies, Trev? I'll never get to the bottom of it. I'm certainly not going back and watching all the shows. Don't have time for that. I'm gonna have to pick a side here.
You should have seen the host.
I'm sure you were fine. Of course you're stable.
No.
Everything else is a god awful mess.
It was
Happy to be back and try to clean things up. Clean things up. I like somebody saying Trev's let a lot of people down since he turned heel.
yeah, right.
Yeah. Are you still in your heel mode, Trev? Is that still
Kind of.
okay?
It comes in waves, I think.
Heel Trev. It's a great wrestling script.
Yes.
We'll see where you what do they call it? A face turn? Is that when the heel becomes nice guy again?
Two-face.
Is there a face turn coming for YouTube Trev at some point? Who knows? Anyway, it's good to be back. Let's lay out the show for you. We got lots to get to. If you're watching over on YouTube today, smash the thumbs up. I mean, if we're not blasting through 100 by 6:30, I'm going back on vacation again. It's a game day, so we'll get to that. RCN says Dusty leaves for a week and McDavid and Atif are out. Yeah, when's Atif going to pop back up here? RCN says Abutski got jawed by Fraze. Okay, what's this? Abutski gets jobbed by Fraze. Is this a kind of easy trivia thing? Or?
Yeah.
Okay, what happened?
At RCN, I think telling tales too. Abutski's fine with it.
Okay,
Fraze
but what happened?
So we did. Fraze insisted we talk some soccer. I told him not to, but we
idiot.
had to go there, and it was dumb. But we had 5 questions for Canada's soccer team who were in action.
Oh boy!
And Abutski replied. He didn't get them. The ticker ran out. He replied back. He said, it's all good. I should have been better. And then we asked Trev, and Trev got 5 out of 5. So it really wasn't that big of a deal. Abutski's fine with it.
Okay.
RCN just didn't like the soccer talk, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I understand. I think I'm on RCN's side here, obviously, right?
Yeah, no more soccer.
The last thing we need to do is talk. Was it Canada's win over the U.S. that you guys
Doesn't
were talking
matter.
about? Yeah.
Doesn't matter. Lakers in Indiana tonight.
Yeah, big one. How about Bronny dropping almost 40 in a G League game?
Yeah, well.
Haters be damned.
Here we go.
I'm so happy to be back. There's lots to discuss. A big anniversary today as well. It was a year ago on this Wednesday that we started Wednesdays, which just happened to be Ann Ramsey's birthday, and we knew nothing about it. It was just one of the strangest coincidences of all time. Her birthday's actually tomorrow. It was the 27th. It's that whole leap year thing. It kind of throws a wrench into things. But happy birthday tomorrow and a happy anniversary. Surveyor Brett obviously had this in his phone.
Who the hell are you all of a sudden?
And we've worked it into the show quite a bit. We'll obviously put together a little remix today.
There's a murderer in the house.
There's a lot of good clips
I
that
have
we
to
can
throw
run
Mama
with
from the train later today before the game.
Yeah, you know what? You probably
There's a
should.
murderer in the house.
Lots of time, too, because the game's a late one again,
Have a
right?
soda with some ice in it.
Yes. Where's
Get me a soda with some ice in it. I want 2 soft-boiled eggs, white toast, and some of that grape jelly, goddammit. Chap, chap, Owens, come on. Chap, chap, Owens, come on.
It's fun to be back. All right, 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. That'll get you into the Paris Jewelers inbox today, where they always have their flexible payment options, as in, do not pay for 1 year. Do not pay right now until 2026. How old are we? It's almost 2026. 22 stores in 4 provinces. Shop stores here in the Edmonton area, West Edmonton Mall, Kingsway, Londonderry, Sherwood Park Mall, and St. Albert Center. If you are looking for something that glitters like a diamond, is that not the Rihanna song?
That's the song.
Yeah, same one. www.parisjewelers.com would be the place to get it. Bender's Pancake says, all Friday show needed was Stoff sitting between Maddie and Comrade Will. Well, Stoff was too busy interviewing prime ministers last week, wasn't he?
Ooh.
I thought you could only sell out once. Oh, tough one. All right. Hot Takes is tomorrow, right? The Hot Takes Mitt made it back
Thursday.
with me.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
took
yeah,
it
yeah,
down. Never made it to Disneyland itself. I was too worried about losing it.
Oh, no.
So it just stayed in the room.
Okay. Well,
But
okay.
it came home. It came home, so
But
that was
it
good.
did cross the border.
I crossed the border. Yeah. Yeah, I had to fill out a fifth passport,
I
a
bet.
fifth declaration for the Mitt.
Do you say I do declare every time?
I do declare. One of your texts today will win text of the day for A&W. The Team Burger. Safe to say it's iconic. Stop thinking. Go get one right now at your nearest A&W. Enjoy a taste of the legendary A&W Teen Burger today from Canada's original burger chain, around since 1956. We're talking real cheddar cheese and mouth-watering bacon. That sounds good. All right, here's the show for you. We're getting into your morning announcements. A lot to get to in the National Hockey League last night, so we'll go there. Tales of the North. What a way to come back.
Yeah, right, eh?
Tales of the North action at 6:30 today for a big game between the Oilers and Stars. Not as big. Well, I mean, it's still big, but it's not as big without McDavid and Draisaitl. You know, like if they lose to Dallas tonight, they didn't have McDavid and Draisaitl.
The Stars are here, but the Stars aren't here.
That kind of. Have you read my script for Tales of the North?
Oh
Boy.
Wait till you hear what Hervey said about superstars. Eh?
Don't worry. I got something for 3 questions too many today in there. That CFLPA is not happy with it either. Maybe a morning announcement.
No, they're not. Yeah.
All right, Tales of the North. The Fan Zone for fansfirst.ca. Also, we got a jam-packed 6 o'clock hour today because we got 3 guests later on. So
It's a jam-packed show.
So much in.
It's a jam-packed show.
So much in. It's,
Wednesdays is a big one.
Crazy show. The Fan Zone for fansfirst.ca. If Chychrun gets $9 million a year, how much does Bouchard get? We'll get into that around, like 6:40ish today.
Bridge deal.
That's good for the Italian Center coming up. Ashley, what a great day for guests yesterday on the station here.
Yeah.
I was basically just a nasty yesterday. I was driving around, listening to some stuff. It was terrific. Listening to iHeart, having a good day. Ashley Collingbull was on the Hangout with Maddie and Tommy yesterday. By far the highlight of the show was her. She was terrific. And great impression that we're going to get to around 6:50 today. Like spot on. A spot on of his, and I should know. Right, I do impressions.
HR Daddy just fuming.
Oh, he's just furious today because that was his thing. It's not his thing anymore. So we'll get to that before 6:50. Also, Dave Jameson on the Reed Wilkins show yesterday.
And Gager on this show.
And I didn't even mention Gager. He must have been
the best for last.
Do you guys talk about Ferrari getting double DQ?
A little bit of that, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
You should have had a dilly bar for the DQ.
I did have a dilly bar.
Has anybody else had one of those dilly bars?
I keep offering them. Nobody wants them.
Eric will come back into the main office here from the kitchen at like 9-10 in the morning and be like, well, anybody else want a dilly bar? He's just been crushing these dilly bars.
Get them while they're hot.
I had here Craig Button, but today, that was last Wednesday. Jamie McLennan will join us.
Yeah, Craig was on yesterday.
Yeah, he was great.
Clairvoyant Craig, as they call him now.
Why? What did he say?
Well, it's just, Mystic Mike Johnson, right?
Oh,
It's Clairvoyant Craig.
I like that.
That's
Is that a TSN handle?
That's what it's on the big page, yeah.
Took 15 years to come up with Clairvoyant Craig.
Hey,
come on,
we're
guys.
Here. We're here.
Jeez. Jamie McLennan will join us just after 7 o'clock today. We'll get his thoughts on this Bouchard-Chychrun contract back and forth. The Nuge obviously stepping up. Ovi, 6 goals away, 11 games to play. We'll get into that. Put together a little EST parlay here for Cool Bet today. Free advice for Damon Bunting, buying or selling. Bunting's your guy. EST legal analyst Eric Macramalla will pop by today. Very excited to chat with him. Lots of text messages flying in today as well. We'll have to sort through as many of those as we possibly can. But Macramalla will be by around 7:45 today. And then obviously just after 8 o'clock, kind of easy trivia. 3 questions. Oh man, what a third hour today. Kind of easy trivia. 3 questions too many. GCL Diesel Orange and Blue Breakfast. Greg Wyshynski at 8:30. Lieutenant Eric's weekly rankings of power. The Marmot Basin Snow Report and the wrap for William Huff. That third hour should be jammed up. So we'll definitely get into that as we work our way through the show this morning. Let's get into your morning announcements for 100.3 The Bear, Edmonton's best rock, Yukon and McCord every single morning. And the lovely Jess Jackson, who I actually bumped into yesterday when I was over in the old building, every day on your way home. All right, what is this I hear? A Yukon Jack sighting yesterday at the office?
Yeah, he wandered on in. Him and Gager walked up together.
Oh, wow, that's nice.
It was something. And then they got on the gridiron. Uke and old Hernan. As preseason, the longest preseason of any pro sport ever. But it looks like we're getting closer to the regular season kickoff here in the Tecmo Bowl, hey?
Things
have been moved.
Corner
The goalposts
computer
have been
set
moved.
up.
Yeah.
I mean, that was really positive until I heard this chart slander. I was pretty happy with the Wannick while I was gone, but obviously not anymore. But yeah, I wish it would have been around for Yuki yesterday. And you said Hernan was in a classic Hernan mood yesterday.
He's killing it. He's just killing it.
He must have won. He must have beat. There's no way Hernan lost to Yuke yesterday in Tecmo. I mean, I would be extremely disappointed. Extremely disappointed in Hernan if that happened. That would not be
preseason. He's still calm and cool about it. He's not kind of.
When Hernan and I play, it's a full blown meltdown no matter what. I don't know how we're going to handle regular season. Like, that's not going to be good. NHL action last night. The Golden Knights pick up a dub. The Kings also pick up a dub.
Yeah.
So not a good night on the out of town scoreboard.
Both teams have now won
for your Edmonton Oilers.
4 in a row.
But the Oilers are hot themselves.
Yeah.
So things are heating up in the Pacific. And we'll see how they can keep rolling. Of course, the Oilers do have the Golden Knights in the near future here. Or within 2 weeks, is that near future? I think in the overall bigger scheme of things it is.
Next 5 games. The next 4 are 8 o'clock puck drops, and then the 5th is 8:30 down in San Jose. But one of those is the Golden Knights on Tuesday down in Vegas.
Okay, yeah, that'd be a big one. Also, the Winnipeg Jets, Ehlers, the overtime winner in a battle of the best in the league so far this year, the Jets and Capitals in Winnipeg last night. Alexander Ovechkin did score. Did the Jets clinch?
They're into the dance.
The X is by their name.
Punch the ticket.
Alexander Ovechkin did score in that game. He is 6 goals away from setting a new record, 5 away from tying Wayne Gretzky. He has 11 games left. He gets 6 and 11, doesn't he? I mean, they're going to push him even harder, right? Like I'm sure there's a 2-goal game somewhere in there. There might even be a Hattie somewhere left in that 11 should take care of business. Trev, there's no way Ovechkin doesn't score 6 goals in his next 11 games, is there?
2 empty netters.
There's probably a couple empty netters.
That's what he does. He likes to go on
power play goals locked in there.
Hopefully. That would just be the worst if he doesn't. 1 goal away. That would just be the worst. We have to wait the
whole summer.
And then it's like he scores and you have the celebration. It has to be done. It has to get done this season.
I think he's a goal away from the great one, like following him around. I think once he gets to like 5 goals left, Gretzky's going to be at all the games and stuff.
Just lurking.
So it would be awesome if like the first game Gretzky's at, Ovi just gets 5.
That'd be awesome.
And breaks the record. That would be really something cool. else. Yeah. So that was big in the NHL last night. Eric will give you more on the scoreboard here coming up. Atlanta wins the TGL. Billy Ho, a TGL superstar, Billy Horschel. He was fired up yesterday, hit a huge putt with 2 to play. That
Clean
really
sweep.
was the difference maker.
Sweep,
yeah. You have to like what you see in that Atlanta TGL team. I'll say this. I'm intrigued to see where they go with second season of TGL. I wouldn't say I absolutely fell in love with TGL because it wasn't like we had it on last night for a bit. But I think I like TGL more than just a random person does. You know, I'm more into it than most people.
Yep.
So
I can't wait till free agency.
TGL. Oh, I don't even know how TGL free agency is going to work.
Well, I mean,
can they do trades in the TGL?
When is the trade window? Like, is there
I would
a
love
deadline?
to see TGL trades. That would be
a draft.
I mean, there would have to be some free agency because these guys are signed to contracts. So when their one TGL deal is up, I guess they could sign a TGL deal somewhere else.
Like, you got to think there's some sort of portion of an off season. What off season?
Nobody really understands how it works. But that's the best part about this. Russell Wilson to the New York Giants.
Yeah.
Interesting spot. Is Aaron Rodgers just done that? Did I miss anything with Aaron Rodgers? Did he sign somewhere while I was gone? I'm sure I would have heard about it in the United States of America.
Steelers are on the clock.
I thought they were happy with Mason Rudolph as their guy.
I mean, who knows? It's
nobody can technically be happy with Mason Rudolph.
The quarterback room for the Giants, though. Jameis Winston, Russell Wilson, and now, of course, everybody's favorite, their DeVito.
I thought this would be a little bit of a like non-winning scalding hot take, but I like the Giants at quarterback this year. Like, I think Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston is actually a really good 1-2 punch.
I like Jameis Winston more than Russell Wilson, but it's just kind of a funny amalgamation.
Yeah, it's crazy that they're together.
Misfit Island.
But it's a much better spot than the quarterback position last year in New York, and last couple of years in New York. Actually, I think I like it. I considering what the other options were, I like what the Giants did.
Considering the options, sometimes I do think too that Pittsburgh with their quarterbacks and Russell Wilson the way he was there, like I think it might. The Giants are a place where it kind of can unravel for players and especially quarterbacks. We'll see.
It's funny because Russell Wilson and Justin Fields were together in Pittsburgh last year, and now they're still in the same building as the quarterback of the Jets and the Giants. So we'll see what that means for the Jets and the Giants. But
Trey Lance might be coming up here.
What was that? I saw somebody retweet that yesterday. Where was this an actual story?
Just rumors. His dad played for the Riders. Riders got his neg rights.
Do the Riders have his neg rights?
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
interesting.
it's something to keep an eye on. Not a superstar though.
Who does this guy think he is? Tommy Stevens?
Yeah.
Just
keep the mitt.
Stephon Diggs did sign with the Patriots. Right?
Yeah.
I saw that yesterday.
Yeah.
Too. 3-year deal.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Maybe he's found that winner.
So there's that.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
guess. Yeah. All right.
Sail on.
Those are your morning analysis. I mean, there's a lot to get to there. We'll get a little bit more, obviously, from Lieutenant Eric with a sports update coming up as well. All right, lots of text messages to sort through. We'll try to do that. Northside Sandwich is in. It says, hey, Dusty, where do you stand on the Tiana ride versus the old Splash Mountain? Me and my family are going to Disneyland in September. I need an update prior. I mean, exact same ride, just different things set around it. I mean, it was still awesome. That's all I would say. It's awesome.
Your whole family was clad in the garbage bag, as you do, and you're just in like a cool bed hoodie.
Well, it was a warm day. I was like, man, my plan was to get the cool bed hoodie soaked, and then just take it off and be. So I did go Poncho once. We hit, Tiana's Bayou is the old Splash Mountain. It's the exact same layout for the ride, just new characters and stuff along the way. I think we hit that 4 times in total, maybe 5 times in total over the 3 days that we were actually in the Disneyland park. And the ride still kicks ass. Like we still refer to it as Splash Mountain.
Sure.
But it's still awesome. That's good. The major buzzkill was when we were there 2 years ago, the Indiana Jones ride was down. And we were there this year, the Indiana Jones ride was down again. And that was the ride that I was most looking forward to 2 years ago. And I didn't get to go on it either trip down, so that kind of sucked. They also, if you've been to Disneyland the last few years, they've reworked the Disneyland app with the lightning lanes, because you used to be able, if you had the lightning lane pass, which I would suggest getting. I mean, it saves you a significant amount of time and lets you do more in your day.
It's like your next
anyway. Yeah. I mean, it's very similar. But the last time we were there, you could use it more than once a day for each ride, and now it's limited. You can only use it once per day for each ride, which kind of sucked, but we still managed to, our ride to time spent in the park ratio was still pretty good. It was still pretty good. And then, of course, Marshall had his showdown with Kylo Ren.
Amazing stuff.
Many of you would have saw this. I posted it over on Twitter. He'd been talking about it for 3-4 months because he's a huge Star Wars guy. Marshall is...
You couldn't contain yourself laughing. But I thought, as I told you, the framing... Perfect.
What a view.
You couldn't have shot that scene any better.
For 3 months, Marshall's big plan was, because I love him. He dressed as Obi-Wan Kenobi all 3 days. We were at the Disneyland park because we'd go to Star Wars Land. And for the last 3 months, he'd been like, Daddy, because last time when he was down there, he got intimidated by Kylo Ren. And he couldn't say anything to him. He's just like, okay. He said, not this time. I'm 10 years old now. This is my thing. So his big thing was, as soon as they'd have this build your own lightsaber thing there. So, and it wasn't like there's this really fancy one you can do. It was like the middle one he got. So first thing he's like, we have to go straight to the Star Wars store. We have to get this Obi-Wan Kenobi lightsaber. And then we go up to Star Wars Land and we meet Kylo Ren. I was like, you got it, buddy. So the first day we're there, he bumps into Kylo Ren twice. And that first day, the Muzz actually was dressed as Kylo Ren.
Yeah.
So Kylo Ren was like taking her under his wing, and she was all fired up about it. But Marshall did come. So he's following along. I said, Marshall, go get around in front of him. He'll see you. And this is your moment the first day. So Marshall turns around in front of him. I got a great video to show you later. I have like a wide shot of it. And Marshall gets in front of him and he's standing there. And Kylo Ren comes up to him and like says one thing. And Marshall's just like, okay. And then turns around and runs away. I'm like, buddy, this is your moment. He goes, I couldn't do it, Daddy. I was too nervous. I didn't know what to do. So then on that video I posted, Kylo Ren come over to him, and I'm sitting behind Marshall, who's standing there, and I'm in Marshall's ear. I'm like, say the line. And then Kylo Ren says something to Marshall, and then he goes to turn away, and Marshall drops the, if you strike me down, I'll become more powerful than you could possibly ever imagine. And Kylo
Ren just...
Oh, yeah, and Ren had turned away.
What did you say?
And then Ren slow turns back and gets right up in Marshall's face, and Marshall just stared him down. Just stared him down. And, it was just a moment of his life. Like, he was so fired up. God, I was so happy to see him get that. And to say the line, you should have seen the kid after. Like, he was just in heaven.
Kylo Ren says his bit, turns around to walk away, and Marshall just kind of moves his head a bit to say,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And then, sorry. Oh, yeah.
The framing was great. It was a great shot. Hell of a shot.
It was just one of those moments as a parent. It's just like one of my favorite videos of the last decade of having Marshall around. And Marshall's great because he's dressed up as Kylo Ren or as Obi-Wan Kenobi, and he's walking through the park. He goes, Daddy, not a lot of other kids are dressed up as Obi-Wan Kenobi. I said, no, buddy. It's just you.
That's a good character.
You're going to have your moment here.
He was Iron Man as well, hey?
Yeah, he got an Iron Man mask, and we get through security at the airport coming home. He goes, Daddy, can I put on my Iron Man mask now? I was just like, sure. So he's walking around the airport with his Iron Man mask on, just smiling. Like, oh, he had a great time. And the Muzz she was just in heaven down there. It was a lot of fun, man. I love Disneyland. I mean, Tammy's like, we don't need to go back for a while. I was just like, okay. But I'm like, oh, we'll go back again.
Define a while.
Tam's going to wake up one day. The kids and I are going to be gone. We're going to be back in Disneyland again. Loved it. All right, let's get to the update. We got Tales of the North coming up right away. Lots of text messages, and I promise you we'll get to a bunch of those. Macramalla intros are obviously rolling in here as well. So we'll go there lots of text on Marshall and his showdown with Kylo Ren. It was really good. All right, Tales of the North, the fan zone. We're going to get to the Bouchard contract. Don't worry, we're going to go there. And then, that's a good for the Italian Center. One of the best impressions we've ever heard here on EST. We'll get to that coming up before 7 o'clock as well. Jam-packed show. Let's get to the sports update right now for the Bids for Kids event with Lieutenant Eric.
Jack Eichel with the hat trick as Vegas would beat the Wild 5-1, while Kevin Fiala had a pair of goals leading the Kings over the Rangers 3-1. Both Vegas and LA have won 4 straight. Flames topped the Kraken in overtime 4-3. Nazem Kadri with the winner. Goal 889 for Alex Ovechkin, 6 away now from passing Wayne Gretzky. But the Jets taking it in overtime 3-2 against the Caps in a battle of the league's best. 4-point night from Philip Broberg. Blues hammer the Habs 6-1. St. Louis have won 7 in a row. Oilers and Stars tonight. It's one of 4 games around the NHL. Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas have your GCL Diesel pre- and post-game shows covered starting at 7 here on EST. Elsewhere tonight, Anaheim at home to Boston. The Devils visit the Blackhawks, and the Islanders host the Canucks. Jimmy Butler, 11 points on his return to Miami as the Heat would beat the Warriors 112-86. OKC Thunder have now won 7 straight. They knock off the Kings 121-105. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, 32 in the win. Cavaliers over Portland, 122-111. And Damian Lillard out indefinitely for the Bucks due to a blood clot in his calf. 6 games around the NBA tonight. Of note, the Knicks host the Clippers. Nuggets at home to the Bucks. Toronto visit Brooklyn. And the Suns host the Celtics, while the Lakers are in Indiana to take on the Pacers. And Atlanta Drive GC, your first inaugural TGL Golf Champions for 2025 as they defeat New York 4-3, taking the best of 3 series, 2-0. Join Dustin Nielson, Trey, and Tyrell Ford and other special guests Tuesday, April 8th at the Bell and Scona for Edmonton Sports Talk Bids for Kids, presented by GS Construction. A live on-location show featuring a delicious appetizer buffet, silent auction, 50/50, and more. Tickets are limited. Find them today, www.kidsportbidsforkids.com.
On the Nielsen Show, That was not a me thing, okay? Just so everybody knows that LeBron James song was actually a YouTube Trev idea. Trev, you saw it online. I saw it online over the weekend as well. There's another one I saw too, which was pretty good. Hey there, LeBron James. People they're
coming in
banging
hot
out all
right
these
now.
LeBron James songs right now. It's nice.
I heard that over the weekend, and it has not left my head. I've been singing that. I swear, it's so good. I love it. It's so beautiful.
The man on the Lakers.
Oh yeah, it's so good. I love this. So I just wanted to.
Hey Trev, welcome aboard.
I wanted to surprise Dusty.
Welcome
but
aboard.
Good job.
When I was
Yeah,
getting
yeah.
it together, I'm like, hey, can I play a song? He's like, is it the LeBron James song you've been working on over there? And I'm like, damn it.
Yeah, I was wearing the song. I heard Trev messing around with something today, and he's like, "Can I play a song coming back to 6?" I was like, "It's the LeBron song, isn't it?"
Yes.
So yes, of course you. Of course,
beautiful.
You can. All right, 780-218-9999. Colton Hoppy from the Nasty Chat says, "I was hoping you never found this song. I just can't escape this bit." Yeah, that's tough. That's tough. You're just be happy. I haven't wrote a LeBron James song yet. Hey,
Yet.
at some point, I will. You know that's coming down the pipe. I'll have that song ready, locked, and loaded for the day when I sit down at this spot in the desk and get into the whole GOAT debate.
Probably like a rap, like a gripe rap, calling
It'll
people
be
out.
it'll
Like,
be
hey,
an MJ diss rap.
You've been
basically.
writing down names. Yeah.
Everybody.
You've been keeping track.
Yeah, everybody who thought the Bronny pick at 55 was unjustified. You idiots. All right, Jamie McLennan is going to join us just after 7 o'clock today. We'll get to, that's good. The Fan Zone for Fans First coming up right away. But we do have to get to Tales of the North today, don't we? Dallas Stars in town. The Oilers missing their big guns. Oh, the drama around Tales of the North. You've never seen anything like it. You ready to go, Rick? Just be prepared. There we go.
Who owns the North? Who owns the North? Show me!
Twinkle, twinkle, Dallas Stars, R&H knows where you are. Tucked inside the Central so tight, Evan Bouchard gets a bridge deal.
Tonight in the North, thy enemy lurks for the land of the Lone Star States. While the attackers this eve have many stars, the orange and blue will head into battle, missing their biggest and their brightest. Ranted in the Raleigh Refuser leads an invasion of the District of Ice, but the task will not be an easy one, even though Lord Knobloch will be without the two most dangerous weapons in all the land. Now he must go to the nuclear option, the hottest of hot, Thin Stash, a purveyor of ponies, he who refuses to age, with another opportunity to say, remember me? A true survivor, emerging from the decade of darkness to lead his mates once more. These are the tales of the North, and may they be heard far and wide across this great land.
8 o'clock puck drops be damned.
Woo-wee! Tales of the North tonight. She be a big one. As the Dallas Stars and Edmonton Oilers set to clash. Oh, a mighty tilt tonight downtown. Yeah.
Ice District.
That's where it'll be.
8 o'clock.
It'll be 8 o'clock in the Ice District. Or Ice District. We're not supposed to say the still.
Ice District.
Haven't come around on that one yet. All right, there you go. That's Tales of the North to get you ready for the Oilers and Stars. Very excited. Very excited. If you are watching over on YouTube this morning, hammer the thumbs up for us. We're 2 away from changing 100. This could be 150 in the 6 o'clock hour. Why not? Smash the thumbs up for us. Jamie McLennan will help us set up this hockey game in about just a little bit after 7 o'clock, about 20 minutes from now. Ryan from SK is in and says, the tails were lit today. The troll liked the line, the Raleigh Refuser.
Yeah.
It worked out well. The ranting in the Raleigh Refuser, which was a nice way to write that one together. Big Maple loved the LeBron song, and Big Red saying it could be the new playoff anthem
For the Oilers.
Listen, let me throw this at you. If it meant the Edmonton Oilers to win the cup, would you be okay with Trev playing that song every single day for the next 2 months? People would say, yeah, of course. They would love it. It'd go down legendary forever. I mean, of course. Hampton Steve says, have sanctions been leveled yet against Iwanek for his charge slander and all the SGs he dropped on Friday's show?
You're probably still going to have to weigh the punishment due, hey, for the...
Well, this is the thing. Matty won't let you punish him. I mean, it's just how it works. Like, it's like, but you can't, like, remember the day they were doing their stupid Pepsi challenge on the Hangout?
Oh,
And
how could you forget?
I tried it before. They're like, you ruined the Coke and the Pepsi. Like, that was a big deal for him. But he comes on the show, charge slander. Come on. Like, what are we doing here? But I ruined the Pepsi Coke challenge.
Well.
Like, they invented it. Like, come on. Please.
Somebody should bring something in to eat.
Oh, dude, I'm not going there. You.
Well, to your
What a
point,
guy.
though. To your
Well,
point.
I mean, I know,
That's it,
to
I'm
my
not saying
point.
anything
Like,
else. If you know, you know.
Changing 100?
Oh, changing 100. That's good. You know what's better? Changing 200. Hammer the thumbs up if you're listening over on YouTube. If you're listening to the podcast later on the day, which many of you do, make sure you subscribe to all of our other podcasts that we're rolling out here as well. Obviously, we have all of our shows on the digital radio station and on YouTube, but they're all available as a podcast after the fact, kind of the third platform of all of our content. So if you're not yet subbed to the Reed Wilkins Show, you can find that on all your podcasting platforms, EST Afternoons, the Hangout, all that good stuff on all of your podcasting platforms. If for some reason you can't find them, let us know, and we'll make sure that we set that up for you properly. All right. Hey, what did you think of instead of the nuclear option, I said the nuclear option?
Yeah. Nuclear.
That was the one I was the most. Yeah, the nuclear option. Guy's been on fire. All right, let's get into the fans first fan zone. If you're looking for tickets to the game tonight and you want to pay less than everywhere else, then you do it at Fans First. Check them out, fansfirst.ca. By fans, for fans, no fees. Best price you'll find for tickets to the game tonight. I'm not making this up. It's fansfirst.ca. All right, Chychrun gets 8 years, $9 million per, and obviously there's an easy tie-in here to the Oilers in this conversation, and that would be, what does this mean for the Evan Bouchard contract? 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. Over in the nasty chat, obviously you can chime in there. I see people talking about Broberg last night with 4 points, Holloway with a goal and assist as well. I also see Colton over there says people talking about Holloway and Broberg are still stuck in 2006 as well with Pronger. Offer sheets happened. It happened to us. It's time to move on. I mean, I think there's a little bit of a difference of something that happened this past summer and people who are still stuck in 2006. And they could have matched on Dylan Holloway, no problem. Easy peasy. It was a horrible decision, and Jeff Jackson should be mocked for it. I mean, it's as simple as that. As for Bouchard, Trev, what do you think? Chychrun gets $9 million a year for 8 years. Trev is the in-house Oilers fan here. Mm-hmm. Does this make you happy? Does it concern you about Bouchard? How do you think this ties into Evan Bouchard?
I think if you're Evan Bouchard, he's looking at that and he's very happy. Like that's, I don't know. When I heard that yesterday, I was like, oh crap. Like, I don't know how they're going to make that work. But if you look at the all-round kind of player, Jacob Chychrun is a better player than Evan Bouchard, but he doesn't have the offense. He'll never have the offense that Evan Bouchard has. And so it's going to be a very interesting discussion, but I could see, I mean, that's at the bar. I was never expecting Jacob Chychrun. Like, I think he's like 8 mil. You know, that's where I kind of, right around 8 mil, but Evan Bouchard, like he'll be able to demand like 10. Like, honestly, like after seeing that and you look at the points. A little bit
of an overpay for Chychrun in my opinion.
I think so too. Yeah. I think so too. You look at honestly, you look at the points that he was able to put up, and I compare him to Matthias Ekholm as well. Like he's getting paid. Like I think Ekholm's a better defenseman, and Chychrun's getting paid almost $3 or $4 million more. Like that's crazy. So he got good for Chychrun in his camp because he got a really good steal of a deal. But I mean, Evan Bouchard, he'll be able to demand more than what Chychrun got, I think, for sure.
Yeah, I think the one thing that I think everybody can probably agree on, and Rick, if you don't, let me know. Chychrun getting $9 million 100% sets the floor for Evan Bouchard. Like there's no way Bouchard comes in below $9 million. Now.
No,
I mean this, and you can compare Bouchard to the Darnell Nurse deals and all that, but these are the ones that you need to compare him to. These are the deals that are happening in the same time frame. These are the deals that are happening in the same window. This is a defenseman who is around a similar age to you. Like this is the comparison. And there's no way Evan Bouchard's camp will accept less than Jacob Chychrun.
Well, if the floor is
I don't
9,
think there's any way they.
If the floor is 9, is the ceiling 10?
Well, I mean, I don't think there's any world where he should get more than 10.
No.
Like,
That's what I'm saying.
I think the number will probably just end up being 9.5 to 10 million.
Yeah.
And like points are one thing, but Chychrun is having a career year this year with 44 points in 66 games played. 44 points, he has. Like that's pretty good. But I mean, Bouchard had almost double that last year with 82 points. Like I know points aren't everything, but offense, I mean, he's an offensive defenseman, right? And so they get paid. So for sure he's gonna. I mean, I would be so shocked if he signed anywhere less than 9, I guess.
Library Pat texts in and says, the fan zone. Damn it. That's all Library Pat says.
Yeah.
Red texts in 780-218-9999. If you're listening on TuneIn or iHeart or at edmontonsportstalk.com, the number to text in is 780-218-9999. Red says 8 years, $10.5 million.
Nope, that's over.
It's coming.
2 over. Unsigned says sounds like 8 times 9.5. It's got to be between 9 and 10.
I think it's going to be more than 9.5 though.
9 and 9.6.
I do like the cap is going to be going up here rather quickly in a rather significant fashion.
More than 9.5, but not more than 10.
No, I don't think it should be more than 10, but I'm not saying it won't be more than 10.
Fair enough.
I think if it comes in, I'm trying to get a read on the fan base. And obviously we've talked about this a ton. And if Bouchard goes out and puts together another brilliant playoffs like he did last year, then there will be less bitching about whatever the contract ends up being. But I'm trying to think of what is the number that will stop everybody from ripping the deal. There will be like, there are some people that don't want him for more than 7.5 because of the grade A turnovers that happen too often. But I think if the number comes in at 10, no, there'll still be a bunch of people pissed if it comes in at 10. Yeah. This one is in from Nature Boy. If Bouchard gets 10 million, no one will be happier than Darnell Nurse because there will be a new whipping boy to replace him. The fan zone.
The fans.
The Chychrun deal means that Bouchard's contract will be in the $10 million range. With the cap going up and his current value, if they can keep it in the $10 million range, I will be fine with it. That's from Hampton Steve. VR Montenegro says $9.95 million for Bouchard as foretold in the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movie soundtrack. Kick that contract into overdrive. 9.95.
Who does that one?
Rip City Step says, when you have a chance to sign a guy who's taking all the light bulbs out of his house long term, you do it. I'm glad he brought this up because I did have it in my notes. I wanted to get to it. Did you see that story about Chychrun yesterday?
He got a bill taped to his jersey in the morning skate.
Did he?
Following his deal, yeah.
Oh,
they had a little bit of fun with him.
Yeah, lots of fun with the with the deal. But I think it was Dylan Strome who said yesterday that he heard that Chychrun is removing all of the light bulbs from his house and just going by candlelight in his house.
Yeah, well.
Does that sound crazy? Like, do you want to commit 8 years to a guy who sounds crazy? I don't know, like...
Candle guy. That's a little weird.
Yeah, lighting your entire house by candle?
Hey, boys, you want to come over? And I got a nice candlelit room for all of us. It'll be great.
Must have like different sizes of candles.
We sense.
Definitely sense.
We can watch a movie with candlelit.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Like every meal he has is a candlelit meal.
You mind turning on another light, Jacob? Yeah, sure.
Now, do you think he was already putting this in place just to save money? And now that he has $9 million a year, he'll be like, oh, I'm going back to like the fancy light bulbs
or the fancier candles.
I mean, maybe
he is.
That's a lot.
I mean, he's got enough money. He can hire a full-time candle person for his house.
Yeah.
Where their only job is to, like, when he goes into a room, they make sure they run in first and pre-light the candles.
And then blow him out when he leaves.
Yeah. He's got enough money. He could pay somebody like $70,000 a year to be his candle guy. Southside, what's this one? Southside Stobie. I don't think I've ever seen Southside Stoby in the chat, but this is great. Just as crazy as someone who's scared of ketchup.
He ain't wrong.
That's a good
there.
one. I mean, that is a good one.
Everybody has their thing.
Red is in and says, man, he's going to have to change his furnace filter daily.
Yeah, they're not good for you, those candles.
The troll says, just because someone makes a dumb mistake, the Chikrin deal, doesn't mean the others have to as well.
Yes, it does.
RBM says, well, but it does. Like, that's what happens in the market.
It's the market.
Look at what happened with Nurse. Jones, Wierenski, a bunch of guys got similar type of deals there.
Made
Yeah,
that point too. Yeah.
RBM says 9 to 10 million for Bouchard is going to be a tough pill to swallow, but offensive production gets you paid, plain and simple. And the cap argument, you can keep saying the cap is going up, but so is every contract as well. There won't be much of a difference, to be honest with you. Hey guys, it's Gus. There's no way Bouchard should be getting more than $7 million per year. That said, he will probably get $10 million, and it will become a contract the Oilers regret for the duration of it. Thanks, Gus.
Fanzo.
All right, so lots of text messages continue to roll in. This one is in. It says, during negotiations, just play a video of Bouchard's terrible giveaways and defensive mistakes. Take $1 million off for every new highlight. The guy will end up owing us money.
Have a ticker on the screen, like.
Guys, imagine if the Oilers had traded for Chikrin back when there was rumors and they had 3 defensemen over $9 million a year.
He was on a lot of big boards back in the day. Him and Jason Demers.
They were on a lot of big boards back then. We're going
those
quite
are
a ways
big
back.
board names.
Yeah.
I know we have young gun players, but those were big board names.
Strummy over in the nasty chat this morning. This is a good line. Chikrin to the candle lighter guy.
Chap, chap, Owen, come on.
It's dark in this room. Chap, chap, Owen.
Chap, chap, Owen, come on.
Oh, that is funny. All right, 780-218-9999. Chikrin gets paid. It's coming. I mean, it's going to be a glorious day for Edmonton Sports Stock. When the Bouchard deal gets done, it'll be one of our biggest days numbers-wise of all time. I mean, it just, whatever it is, that will be the reaction. People are going to be absolutely losing their minds.
Tyson Berry chimes into the Paris Jewelers inbox.
Awesome.
Offensive production gets you paid? Question mark.
I guess it depends who you are. We're going to get into it a little bit with Noodles. Rob from LA texting this morning says, Bouchard leads the team in ice time. The coaches obviously don't agree with all the loud fans out there. All right, we've got one more segment we want to get to here. That's a Fans Over Fans first. We'll continue this whole conversation with Jamie McLennan in about 5 minutes. And then off of that, the conversation will probably continue even more so. So keep those texts coming in, 780-218-9999. We're 18 likes away from changing 150 here before 7 o'clock, so let's smash that right now. And sub to the channel if you haven't already. We're like 15 subs away or something from 11.5K. Yes. So give us the sub as well.
Now for a segment to rule them all, eh?
Which one? The next one. That's a good. Let's get into that's good for the Italian Center where, I don't know, let's just say this. If you want something delicious, like a lasagna just waiting for you, then you can get that. How much lasagna have you eaten since I've been gone? This guy's a lasagna monster.
I'm enthused.
He's a lasagna monster. The Italian Center, the recipes available on their website are absolutely terrific as well. If you're sitting there and you're in charge of dinner tonight for your family and you're like, I don't know what to get everybody. Italiancenter.ca, click on recipes. They'll give you a bunch of ideas and they got all the ingredients you need right there. Or you can just swing on by, pick up one of those lasagnas, throw it in the oven for 20 minutes and bada bing, bada boom. You've got a delicious dinner. Okay, so here's that's good today. Ashley Collingbull was on the Hangout yesterday.
Yes.
And, I mean, she was terrific. She's far more successful than probably any of us will ever be. But she does an awesome impression of Gollum from Lord of the Rings.
One of the many random things that you wouldn't think you're pulling from that interview.
Yeah, I don't know if you heard this yesterday. We have to come back to it. It's terrific. I was listening. I was driving around yesterday at a meeting down in Leduc, so I was listening to the afternoon shows as I was driving, and I heard it pop up on the Hangout promo, and I was like, "Whoa!" I've got it linked in here now as Ashley Gollenbull, which works out pretty well. That's a great clip. This is from yesterday on the Hangout.
Our master would never take precious from us. Master cares about us. No. Master wants the precious for himself.
Like, she nailed that thing.
It's like Jaunty doing wheels in the song.
It's insane. Like, it's absolutely incredible, this impression that she did. And as a big impressionist myself,
yes.
Jar Jar and various accents, like
Mr. Mike's.
Mr. Mike's thing. This is insane. Like, it sounds like the guy from the movie. I mean,
Now-
this is Miss Universe. Like, come on.
The HR Daddy clip.
I don't have that one around anymore.
I
But my
wanted
dad's going to be
side
pissed.
by side, yeah.
Because HR Daddy's like, I do a great Gollum. And he's done
puts
that
the
before
effort
the
in,
show.
though. You can feel
He
it.
really
Yeah.
did. But come on, like...
Our master would never take precious from us. Master cares about us. No. Master wants the precious for himself.
Oh, this is like when the St. Louis Blues signed Broberg and Holloway to their offer sheets.
No. Master wants the precious for himself.
I don't know if you can come up with clips for this, but if you can win text of the day today.
This
right
is
here,
the path.
No. Master wants the precious for himself.
That's really good. All right, 780-218-9999. Rip City Step says, impression of the year at the Estes. Sorry, Tommy's mom.
No. Master wants the precious for himself.
It sounds like we took a clip from the movie and put it in.
I need HR Daddies. Just one time. If you can,
no.
If you can find it somewhere.
I don't think it exists anymore. That was at the old station.
Look, I'm sure
that
if you
wasn't
ask,
even here, wasn't it?
If
The
you
old
ask
station?
kindly, he'll give you a new one.
Don't send in a new one. It's not going to be as good as
I'll
this
send
one.
him an email.
You
later
will
on,
humiliate yourself. I don't think you'll be able to top that. Anyway, impression.
Rubella 2.0 says
that's a good.
Next to Dusty's elk call, it's the second most realistic.
It's right up there. I mean,
that's another one that we've.
What sounds better, this?
No. Master wants the precious for himself.
Or me doing an elk call? I sound just like an elk.
Millwoods Matt says it's Jacob Chikrin protecting the candles in his house.
No. Master wants the precious for himself.
Oh, that's a good one. Keep those text messages coming in. 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. We'll get to a few of those. Bouchard, when he sees all of his teammates taking discounts on their next contract.
No. Master wants the precious for himself.
Sherwood Park Luke this morning. Hey, Lieutenant Eric, can I have a bite of your lasagna?
No. Master wants the precious for himself.
Grumpy Cat, when the Edmonton Oilers win the cup and McDavid refuses to pass it along.
No. Master wants the precious for himself.
All right, 780-218-9999. And we'll keep rolling with those. It could be high win text of the day today. It is a Macramalla day, so the intros are going to be flying in as well, which means the battle for the A&W text of the day today is heating up. And it's going to be a tough one for the Paris Jewelers inbox because it's about to take a pounding this morning. All right, Jamie McLennan on the other side. If Chikrin gets $9 million, how much does Bouchard get? And we'll also get his thoughts on if the Nuge can carry the Oilers to a win over the Dallas Stars, and what would it mean for this group.
Wouldn't mind an updated definition on goaltender interference, too, if he could, since we do have the goalie on today. See what he thinks about all that.
So, about what sort?
Well, there's goaltender interference from the past couple of days.
Yeah.
Noodles, I'm sure
that was a big thing. Hey,
sure, a hot take on that.
Yeah. Let's wrap up with this text. Ryan Rashog discussing who gets the vacation days the minute the Oilers season is over.
No. Master wants the precious for himself.
When somebody looks in Iwanix freezer and says, hey, let's cook this chicken up.
No. Master wants the precious for himself.
All right. Keep those We'll keep those coming in. It's going to be a good day, I think. Jamie McLennan coming up next. Let's get to a sports update right now with Lieutenant Eric.
Oilers and Stars tonight in one of 4 games around the NHL. Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas get you set with the GCL Diesel pre- and post-game shows. Coverage starts at 7 here on EST. Elsewhere tonight, Chicago hosts New Jersey, Vancouver visit the Islanders, and the Ducks are at home to the Bruins. Action last night, 4-point night from Philip Broberg as the Blues hammer the Habs 6-1. St. Louis have won 7 straight, locked into that wild card 2 spot in the West. Goal 889 for Alex Ovechkin. He's now 6 away from passing Wayne Gretzky. Jets, though, taking in overtime 3-2 against the Caps. Flames over the Kraken 4-3 in overtime. Kevin Fiala with a pair of goals, leading the Kings over the Rangers 3-1, and Vegas over the Wild 5-1. Jack Eichel with the hat trick. Both Vegas and LA have won 4 straight. OKC Thunder picking up their 7th straight win as they defeat the Kings 121-105. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, a cool 32 points. Jimmy Butler had 11 on his return to Miami as the Heat would beat the Warriors 112-86. And the Cavs over Portland 122-111. Damian Lillard out indefinitely for the Bucks as he's suffering from a blood clot in his calf. 6 games around the NBA tonight, including the Lakers visiting the Pacers, Suns at home to the Celtics, Raptors in Brooklyn to face the Nets, Nuggets hosting Milwaukee, and the Knicks at home to the Clippers. Atlanta Drive GC, your TGL Golf champions for 2025. They capture the inaugural crown, defeating New York 4-3, taking that best-of-3 series 2-0. Sports Update brought to you by Nisku Glass. We want to thank EST and all the listeners and viewers. And what better way than to give them a deal? Mention Edmonton Sports Talk or present your Nasty Club membership for a 10% discount on windshields, glass, or any of your window and door orders. Call us today to get that ugly broken windshield replaced or to start planning your spring renovation project now.
What say you? Hey, nasty crew. We got the Nielson show flu. And there's nothing we can do about it. What say you? Hey, nasty crew. My wife thinks I got better things to do, but there's nothing I can do about it. We're tuning in, we're listening online. We catch up with the podcast when we fall behind. We're texting in the nasty chat, what's on our mind. 780-218-9999. No more interference from corporate interest. Just Tati and Eric and all of the bad cats like Wyshynski and Noodles. Captain can gauge it. Maybe it's Bubba to cool bed to make a little wager. We can't wait for the Monday Mandate. Shaggy's always on time. Tommy's always late.
Would you like a cup of tea?
Forget about the old place. Hey, we were number 1 in the text race. We don't miss all the commercial breaks, but we sure miss Nickelback today. We wanna hear some hot takes and we wanna hear Renee. Why not hold the neck up when I wanna kiss away? Beat left the tire fire and remember that name. We love every goal song, but what about Amanda Canes? Macramalla, Rapapo, Dragger, Engineer. It ain't Christmas season, but they sound like reindeer. Button and my cousin and the tales of the North. All about him in person, Dusty go forth. What say you? AM Nasty Crew. We got the Nielson show flu. And there's nothing we can do about it. And there's nothing we can do about it. And there's nothing we can do about it.
All right, 7:05 on the Nielson Show. Thank you very much for listening on TuneIn or iHeart or at EdmontonSportsTalk.com. If you are listening over there, send the link to Edmonton Sports Talk to all of your buddies so they too can hop in on the fun. And if you're watching over on YouTube today, smash the thumbs up for us. Let's change 200 by the time we're done chatting with our next guest. Second hour of the show, pretty jam-packed. We're going to get into a good hockey discussion here with Noodles, obviously. That'll lead into some more conversation following that. We'll build a little EST parlay here for our partners over at Coolbet Canada. Free advice coming up for Damon Bunting. What do you need help with? Text us at 780-218-9999 in the Paris Jewelers inbox, and we'll give you free advice just after 7:30 today. And then legal analyst Eric Macramalla will be by around 7:45 today. And you can keep those Macramalla intros rolling in as well. And we'll get to a few more of those as well. Dex texts in and says, EST legal analyst and guy who likes to hang out at Walmart bumping into people wearing camo so he can say, oh, sorry, didn't see you there.
Just loves it.
Macramalla will be
Really
by
hard pumping
around
in, like, really,
7:45
like,
today.
leaning,
What's this?
leaning in, you know.
Nielson Show is always brought to you by the fine folks, the award-winning folks over at South Fort Chevrolet, winners of the 2024 GM President's Club Award. Drive a little, save a lot at South Fort Chev. Check out their website, www.southfortchev.com. And, of course, this month is Truck Month. Deeper discounts, lower interest rates on Silverados and heavy duties. All right, let's get to Jamie McLennan. Brought to you by Pro-Am Sports, your locally owned sports memorabilia and apparel specialist. Gear up for game day. Oilers jerseys, headwear, hoodies, and hats from Fanatics, New Era, 47, Mitchell & Ness, in stock now. Located in Edmonton at the corner of St. Albert Trail on 128th Ave or online at proamsports.ca. Cooks and boys probably fired up for baseball season. They all get so excited for baseball season. I'm not there just yet.
But that jacket's
Hockey
going to
and the
be getting out
Association.
soon.
My Cito Gaston jacket will be ready for opening day.
Will wants to know if you were going with the pants as well this year.
Not this year. Not with the way the Jays have been managed over the last couple of years. I cannot commit to the full uniform. But I will have my Cito jacket on.
Hell of a grapefruit league, though, right?
I don't care. I mean, I just don't care. All right, let's bring in Jamie McLennan this morning for Pro-Am Sports. If you're not yet subbed to our channel here on YouTube, we would appreciate that. Noodles, what's up, buddy? How you doing, man?
Not too bad. No, so you're a Jays fan. Were you a fan of the manager? What is Charlie Bongos, the guy who played the drums all the time, the happy guy? Like, what was his name? Charlie. He was 2 managers ago for the Jays.
Montoya. Montoya.
Charlie Montoya.
That's man. I totally forgot that era.
Well,
they brought him in because he could speak Vladdy's language, wasn't it? But he was like, they would lose 21-0. He'd be on his bongos in his office, like big smile on his face, because he was a drummer, right? Like it was insanity. I remember, like, the guy never had a bad day in his life. He was a very happy guy. But I don't think he was a very good manager. Put it that way.
Not the right guy for the job at the time.
Gibby was the high point.
Yeah,
Gibby was the good times.
Everything compares to Gibby.
Yeah.
And I'm always just like, bring Gibby back.
Why not?
Like 3 weeks into every season, I'm just bring Gibby back. Let's see what happens there. The Oilers do get the Stars tonight. A big one for sure. Chychrun, that's the conversation in town here over the last 24 hours. Chychrun gets 8 years, $9 million. Obviously, we immediately link it to Evan Bouchard, which, it's in the window here of a Bouchard extension coming up as well. What does this mean for Evan Bouchard, do you think, Noodles?
Well, he's in that neighborhood. I mean, people will say, okay, he's better offensively. Maybe Chychrun's better defensively, although I would argue that because, Chychrun's metrics, it depends on who he plays with. He's certainly stabilized his game. When Chychrun was in Ottawa, we saw flashes of him being a really well-rounded player, and we saw flashes of him having 1 or 2, we'll call it Bouch moments during the season or during the game as well. So I think the biggest thing of what makes Evan Bouchard so polarizing is his plays are 10s. And what I mean by that, 10 out of 10, he makes an unreal outlet pass that only a few defensemen in the league can do, but he'll also make an unreal awful mistake that only a few people that can do that play that type of minutes. So if he could somehow limit those 10 out of 10 mistakes, then you're looking at some consistency in his game. Everyone I talk to in the hockey world is like, I don't know if you give this guy a long-term deal, because it depends on what the next step is for him in his maturation process. There's no doubt. I think he's an elite offensive defenseman. The big shot, certainly I don't think he's had the consistency this season. But that being said, I don't think a lot of Oilers have had the consistency this year outside of Leon Draisaitl.
Yeah.
So, I think Bouchard's in that neighborhood, and people may say, well, it doesn't even start with a 9. It's more than that. It's double digits, which I would argue that's probably the case. He's been that good offensively. He is that impactful. If he could play anywhere near the way he played the playoffs last year, where he had some bite, he had, some intensity to his game, that was an elite level defenseman. My worry is, there's been games this year where I swear to God, he's been a 3 out of 10. And you're looking at him going, we need more. The organization needs more. The fans need more. But we know he's capable of a 10 out of 10. He's that good of a player.
Well, just a couple more here. Like when Chychrun was in Ottawa, did you see a $9 million defenseman coming? And in relation to that, how much hardball do you think the Oilers can play here with Bouchard?
Well, you got to be careful because I don't know. Is there anybody in the wings that are coming? Is there a 21-year-old? And I won't even get into the Broberg conversation.
Let's just say there's not. There's not a Bouchard that made it okay for Tyson Barrie to leave, I guess is what I'm
right. Saying. So, but that's exactly it. Like I looked at, he has a lot of leverage, but he's not in a window where it's unrestricted free agency. So that's, I think that's where the difference was with Chychrun was, Chychrun's going to be unrestricted because he's older. So there would be a lot of a marketplace for him. Now, I don't think people would offer sheets, all of that type of stuff. I think you're looking at, matching. But to me, I think the biggest thing with Bouchard is everybody comfortable with an 8-year deal in double digits? So we're looking at what you name it, $11 million a year, let's call it. That's $88 million, something like that. Like it's a big contract. But if he's a core piece that you feel like moving forward, keep in mind the cap's going up as well.
Yeah.
So you are going to have some flexibility there, but you want to have the flexibility to pay a guy that wears 97. And I think that's the priority, and everybody else you work backwards from. You've got Draisaitl done. Now you got to get McDavid done. And he's 2 years out, or is it when is McDavid eligible for an extension this summer, right?
Yeah, right. Like he's a year back from Draisaitl, essentially. So
right. So he's eligible for the extension, but the extension will kick in a year from now. I think you have to be smart with your economics. Also, you got to figure out, if you're going to go deep in the playoffs this year, that's if they'll have to have a shifting landscape if they fail with this particular group. And I'd look in net, for example. Stuart Skinner is going to need a contract, but if he doesn't, deliver what he did in the playoffs last year and more, it's some consistency, they might pivot there. So there's a lot of question marks. But coming back to Bouchard, I mean, it's double digits every day, but it's you got to be mindful of if you're comfortable with the term, because we've seen, Evan Bouchard at his best and his worst this season, unfortunately.
Noodles, and just getting away from the Oilers for a second, I wanted your thoughts. You played goaltender in the league, albeit in a different time and era. What were your thoughts on the other night there, Islanders and Blue Jackets, and the goal that never was? Can you define or give us an updated version of what goaltender interference is?
No, I can't, but because I think the three of us could sit down and look at many plays and go, okay, that's a goalie interference, that's not. My biggest concern, and I don't want to be right with this, but they've dodged a few bullets here. Like, imagine a Game 7 Stanley Cup final, and you've got to make a call on that. Or an example, even let's talk first round, Game 7, and you're talking owners with gate money and players with windows to win, and it comes down to subjective opinion on, hey, was he touched? Was he in the crease? Was there intentional? Was there a bump? Like, you got all these things that you go through. And I know the league says they just had their general manager meetings, and apparently all the GMs got into a room and they looked at 50 different clips, and they all agreed on like 46 of them, and 4 of them that were kind of on the line where it was open to interpretation. And all it's going to take is one. And the other night was one where, like Patrick was saying, stay the hell out of it, Toronto, if you can't really see what everyone else is seeing. And that's the frustrating. I've been in that war room. I've actually gone and sat in there for a night with Kay Whitmore. They do great work. I want to establish that. I think they do great work. But again, it's also open to interpretation. A penalty of offside, a penalty of puck over the glass, that's cut and dry. That's black and white. Pass interference, strike zone, goaltender interference. These are subject to opinion and maybe cadence of what's going on with the game. And to me, that's what concerns it, because it's not cut and dry. There are levels where you're like, okay, does the goaltender, is he afforded the opportunity to make the save? And Ryan Smith was famous for this. I don't know if you guys remember, you'd stand in the net with the goalie. Here, I've got my back scratcher here, but this is my stick, okay? Ryan Smith used to chop at the knob of the stick. Just as the puck would come, he'd chop at your stick and your stick would come up and it would disrupt the goaltender, okay? But he would be at the side of the net. But that was goalie interference because it would mess with your balance. It would mess with everything. But some people's interpretation is like, oh, he's just competing for spot. And like, that's what frustrates goaltenders and frustrates people. Because Patrick was looking at that the other night going, we're trying to get into the playoffs and we're pissing away a point here potentially because of a bad call. So I thought that was a goal. I personally thought that should have been a goal, but you know, in the end, you know, when you look at it, oh no, they called it a goal. I'm sorry. What was the call on it? I'm drawing a blank on it.
No,
I think it was a non-goal, right?
Non-goal, yeah.
I thought that was a goal. I in watching that. So in the end, I'm sure it's frustrating. The league might get caught here at a real critical time.
And you're right too. It could be Game 7. It could be opening round. But in this case, you know, two teams fighting for wild cards. So you're
still a big game. Yeah.
Closer to that big game. It's
not ideal. All right, Jamie McLennan with us, brought to you by Pro-Am Sports. Noodles, the others get the Dallas Stars tonight. The big boys will not be available for Edmonton. They managed to get a victory over the weekend without them. What would it mean for this group without McDavid and Draisaitl to beat a really good Dallas Stars team? What can that do for the rest of these guys when McDavid and Draisaitl return?
Well, I think it hopes that it sends a message that it's not a two-person team. And I think what these players need to understand is you're not out there killing time until the big line gets out and tries to win it for you. Like, if anything, it could create some balance and some responsibility for players who really, a lot of times, will fade into the background. I love that Nuge got the hat trick. I love that, you know, Hyman was a really good player that night. I thought Jeff Skinner played well. I thought Arvidsson was a difference maker. You know, Brown looked dangerous, although Brown is, I mean, he gets chances. I don't know. Like, I don't know if there's a guy in the league that gets more chances than Connor Brown, Podkolzin, guys like that they've got to find ways to find the back of the net. That's that depth scoring. I thought Adam Henrique found another level and has played really good hockey. You know, this team on paper has had a lot of success individually. Guys have had good seasons. Maybe they're older now and their roles have changed. But to me, it adds responsibility to guys who maybe hide away from the responsibility because of Draisaitl and McDavid. I think it pushes to the forefront a more team game. And I'd like to see that because Dallas is no joke. And, you know, they might be looking at it saying, okay, we can take this team lightly because they don't have McDavid and Draisaitl. You've got to change their mind in a hurry. And I would like to see the goaltender have a game too. You know, like he some stability in his game. You know, makes good saves, and then there's a questionable goal or some lateral movement where people are pointing out, and you're like, okay, you need to silence the critics. That's what you need to do. And a solid statement game tonight on a lot of different levels from a lot of guys in that lineup would do that.
Washington falling to Winnipeg last night. Ovi gets another one. I think he scored in 3 straight against the Jets at least. He is 6 goals away from breaking the record, 5 from tying it, 11 games to play. I mean, this could come right down to the wire here, but he's going to get it, isn't he?
I think so, and I think it might come down to the last game they play the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Against the Penguins. Which would be perfect.
It's his old buddy Sidney Crosby, and you know, something like that. Although Pittsburgh is just hemorrhaging, like they are just leaking oil right now. They are not a very good team, and you know, for me, I think Ovi gets it done. I think it would be anticlimactic to have him get to tie Gretzky and then head into the off season. But right now he can smell it. I think his team can smell it. It was a big boy game last night, and Winnipeg came out on top. I kind of lean Winnipeg over Washington, but I don't really have a definitive reason why, other than the fact that I think Winnipeg and Washington are both built kind of the same way. They've got great goaltending. They've got mobile D that can move the puck, and they're deep up front and have size. And both of them, a team has to win and a team has to lose. It was a coin flip game, and Winnipeg came out on top.
Noodles, before I let you go, I got to circle back around to that back scratcher. I mean, do you use it all the time? Is that why it's right there?
All the time.
Really?
All the time. Yeah.
God.
I was in Buffalo last night and called the Ottawa Buffalo game, and I drove home afterwards. And you sit there, you get itchy back and sweaty or whatever.
Sense.
So this morning I'm sitting at my desk, and the back scratcher is always available. And what happened is this went missing because my kids had a play date, and some of these kids showed up. And they were playing with it, which they're not allowed in the office, and they played with it. It went missing for 2 weeks. I had $100 reward laid out for anybody who could find this thing. And of course, these jackasses hit it on me. I found it myself, so I paid myself. But I was so mad.
That back during the
your
2
back
weeks?
must have just been killing you for 2 weeks.
Probably
Must have been rubbing on walls and stuff.
I have other ones. I have other backup back scratchers, but this is my number one. It's got a little edge on it. It's wood. It's like bamboo wood or whatever. It's awesome. So,
I've never used a back scratcher in my life, but
it's a good prop to show where Ryan Smith always.
It was great for that too. Yeah, very handy thing. That's great. Noodles, as always, buddy, we appreciate it. We'll catch up next week.
Sounds good. We'll chat soon.
There you go. I want to know how many people have back scratchers.
You've never used one?
No, I don't think I have.
Oh, man.
Sometimes I'll use like my pen and reach around.
It's a
I also have
life-changer.
long arms. Like my arms can scratch a pretty good chunk.
It's a foreign.
So
like,
do you
it's a
own
third
a back
party.
scratcher?
I have one at home.
You
I also
do?
have one of those head scratchers that you put on the.
I got one of those.
Man, those are.
The kids
that's
got
a
me those
trip.
one year, and you put it on, you go up in the. It's a weird. I also don't want to do this the whole time.
But it's when you do it with your hand, when you scratch your head,
with
your hand, or you scratch your back, like it's you could feel it.
Yeah,
but it's using that third party.
Trev, do you have a back scratcher? I don't think you're at the point in your life now when you have a back scratcher.
I do not have a back scratcher, but I remember growing up, there was one episode of Family Guy.
Back scratcher?
Back scratcher. I watched that and I was stuck, and I'd just go around school. Back scratcher.
That's
what's
the
a
first
back
thing
scratcher?
I think of when
back
I hear
scratcher.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. So
they're life changing. Christmas is made up now, boys. I mean, I know what I'm. Scratch the two of you off the list.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever owned a back. Noodles has multiple back. So you're putting out $100 reward when you got multiple back scratchers anyway?
That's crazy.
The life of that NHL pension.
God,
I would like a back scratcher.
Back scratcher?
Back scratcher? I'd like one, yes.
All right, so how old do you have to be when you, I don't see a lot of guys in their mid-20s waking up the next morning after going out with a hangover being like, oh, I got to scratch my back today. I don't know. I feel like it's a late 30s, early 40s type of thing.
It's no age specific. It's just very nice. Call it the stranger.
VR Montenegro's in and says, I have an extendable back scratcher. KB says, back scratcher is a must. One right by the nightstand, extra large container of Tums.
I have one of the extendable ones too. You can really kind of three-pronged pull.
Evil Twin says, I use my back scratcher daily. Walking Campbell's Cat says, back scratchers are necessities in life. Big Uke has 2 extendable back scratchers.
I'll bring mine in tomorrow. You can try it on air, and you're going to melt.
You would let me try your back scratcher?
Oh, yeah. No, over top of the, yeah.
Oh, I can't. I thought, I wanted to put it right on my back.
Well, if you want to put it on the skin, go ahead. I mean, I don't care. But do it on, it's life-changing. I'd love to see your
I should bring in my head scratcher, too, and I'll do both at the same time.
They can scratch each other. It'd be great.
How relaxing would that be, eh? All right, 780-218-9999. This one is, I think I know where they're trying to go with this. YouTube Trev, when the other boys in school wanted to also be back scratchers.
No. Master wants the precious for himself.
Yeah. Noodles, when someone else uses his favorite back scratcher.
No. Master wants the precious for himself.
Normology says, hell yeah, I got a back scratcher at my desk. Colt 45 says, Dusty, back scratcher is a life changer. I have one on my desk at work and multiple ones at home.
Yeah.
It sure beats using the corner of the wall.
You could even use a shoehorn. One of those longer shoehorns. You can kind of dual purpose.
Rob from the Girl says, aren't those back scratcher things like just $1 at Walmart?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a back scratcher because it costs too much. I just...
But you can get, as he said, the bamboo style. There are different levels.
You get a fancy
one.
one. Let me see here. I'm going to go on Amazon. And Why do I have to type in like what is this? It's making me type in a code.
You have to file a ticket.
I wonder what's up with that. All right, let me search back scratchers. And it's back scratchers for men or for women. Is that a different thing? Can you not just use one for both?
I'm seeing one for $315.
No, you're not. That must be the one.
Custom metal telescopic back scratcher.
Oh, these are all metal. I don't want this one. This must be the wooden. This must be Noodles.
Yeah.
Renuk wooden bamboo back scratcher, 17-inch natural handmade. Free delivery by Sunday, March 30th. That's too far from now. Look at these metal ones. They come in bags. Holy smokes. People aren't messing around with this back scratching stuff. Where'd you see the one for $300?
Yeah, I've been staring at it thinking that I'm looking at the wrong number, but look at this.
What?
That's got to be
What is it, game used by somebody? Like, that's wild. Oh, look at this.
Doubles as a pool cue.
The Oweezy, Tommy Gazzola must have this. The Oweezy exfoliating back scrubber for shower. Double-sided back scrub washcloth. You see this thing? Look at this. It's like like a 6-foot washcloth with handles on it, and then you wash your back like this. Wow, Amazon. I'll just say this. Let's just leave it at this. There's a lot of stuff on Amazon.
It's a jungle.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. All right, let's build a little EST parlay for tonight, shall we? The old Mighty Oil going up against the Dallas Stars. I think this is one that we probably don't put the money line win in.
Well, trap game for the Stars.
I need to put in a code for Coolbet. What's going on with my computer here?
Man, you file another
Did you say
ticket.
trap game?
For the Stars, yeah.
Interesting.
We talked about apathy. This is the Oilers got them right where they want them. Like a Venus flytrap, and then they'll land in and Nuge will shut it.
Have you ever seen a Venus flytrap in person?
Yes.
Wow.
Where'd
you see that?
That's wild. School. We had a few in school.
What?
Growing up, yeah.
Wow. I didn't know you went to a cool school like that.
Oh, yeah. Plants and everything.
So would they, if you put your pen in there, would they like...
Yeah, if you could trigger it.
Come on.
Yeah. Trigger the trap.
God, that's neat. All right, so the player props aren't yet up over at Coolbet, but that doesn't matter because where are we going to go? We're going to go with Nuge. Let's just see here.
Arvidsson goal.
The others step up. The others. Let's go. Nuge point. Bouchard point. Did you say Arvidsson point? Let's go Skinner.
I said
Skinner's
Arvidsson goal.
You're nuts.
Well, hey.
Nuge point, Bouchard point, Skinner point. And do we stay away from the Oilers? The Oilers are a plus 130 home dog here.
Trap game.
Imagine if they pull off this dub tonight without...
I can.
All right, let's put Oilers money line in here. Let's just do it. I mean, you're going to support the local team or you're not going to support
Are we
the
not
local
fans?
team? All right, Oilers money line, Nuge point, Bouchard point, Skinner point. The Oilers money line being at plus 130 will drive this number up quite a bit. I don't know if Jake or Pat are watching this morning, but Nuge point, Bouchard point, Skinner point, Oilers money line is where we'll end up settling on this bad boy tonight. That'll be your EST parlay for our partners over at Coolbet. If you've not yet signed up for a Coolbet account, use the code LOCKSHOP when you do, and you'll get a 100% deposit bonus on your initial deposit up to $200. Once again, a Nuge point, a Bouchard point, a Skinner point, and the Oilers to win tonight. Should be a nice number when it does end up getting posted over at Coolbet. You'll find it on the exclusives page. And there's Jake. Jake's watching, so he's got it. Nuge, Bouchard, Skinner point, Oilers money line tonight. And
JBM.
We'll have that available. It'll be in the exclusives tab over on the left side at Coolbet. All right, coming up next, free advice for Damon Bunting. What do you need help with? What do you need help with today? You text us at 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. You know what I need help with? What we all need help with? 20 likes away from 200 here. Hammer the thumbs up for us if you're watching over on YouTube. What do you think I was going to say? You were smiling like you thought.
No, nothing. It's nice. I was thinking too with Jake Bull and Moss in the chat. You're not only returning to the Nielson show, but Lock Shop
back
as
on the
well.
Lock Shop with Briar Tuck today.
Yeah. Hustle be loving
talking
that.
golf. That'll be a lot of fun today. Lock
Yeah.
Shop today at 11 o'clock right here in EST. Shout out to Patty and Jake who've been hopping on
They
with
were
us
locking
while
it
I was
down,
gone. They've been apparently on a heater. Erica over in the chat says, we got a Venus flytrap from Canadian Tire of all places. Our kids would feed it bugs. Very cool.
Yeah, I told Rob from the Grove, I wish all plants were a little more semi-active, that
They would
They
eat
don't have
things.
to move real fast like a pet. But
So what happens to the fly? In a Venus flytrap when it eats it?
it closes in, and then the plant releases enzymes or something that breaks it down.
Oh, and it
then
disappears.
It doesn't I don't think it disappears fully, but it kind of. At least
Well, I don't know much about Venus flytraps.
Well, it's another Christmas. A Venus flytrap and a back scratcher.
I'd rather like the back scratcher. Venus flytrap would creep me out.
You put your finger in there. Ow.
Free advice for Damon Bunting. What do you need help with? Text us 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. Send those Macramalla intros in. Some of them might have got lost in a busy inbox today over at the Paris Jewelers inbox. 780-218-9999. We'll get to a few more of those as we work our way through the show here. And then the man himself will join us. We'll get his thoughts on Justin Fields and Russell Wilson in the Big Apple. Different teams, but both in the Big Apple.
And don't forget about Tommy.
Baseball season's just around the corner, and
it sure is.
Macramalla loves
we'll
baseball.
Be playing balls. Check in on his bracket.
We'll find out what he thinks about baseball at 7:45 today. That'll be great. Let's get to sports update right now with Lieutenant Eric.
A busy night in the NHL last night as both Vegas and LA picking up victories. Golden Knights over the Wild 5-1. Kings over the Rangers 3-1. Both teams have now won 4 straight. Flames over the Kraken 4-3 in overtime. Nazem Kadri with the winner. Alex Ovechkin scoring 889. He is now 6 away from passing Wayne Gretzky, albeit in a losing cause, as the Jets defeat the Caps 3-2 in overtime. St. Louis have now won 7 straight following a 6-1 hammering of the Habs. Oilers and Stars tonight down at Rogers Place. Tom Gazzola, Hernan Salas, they'll get you set. GCL Diesel pregame show coverage starts at 7 here on EST. You can also join the Bullies following tonight's game, breaking it all down on the GCL Diesel postgame show. It's one of 4 games around the NHL tonight as the Ducks host the Bruins, the Islanders are at home to Vancouver, and the Devils travel to Chicago. Over to the NBA, where Damian Lillard will be out indefinitely for the Bucks due to a blood clot in his calf. Action from last night, Cavaliers over Portland, 122-111. OKC defeating the Kings, 121-105. And Jimmy Butler had just 11 points on his return to Miami as the Heat...
What's up with that? What's going on
about that? Heat knock off the Warriors, 112-86. 6 games around the NBA tonight of note. The Knicks are at home to the Clippers. Milwaukee visit Denver. Brooklyn hosts Toronto. Suns are at home to the Celtics, and the Lakers on the road in Indiana to battle the Pacers. Atlanta Drive GC capturing the TGL Golf Crown, champions of 2025. They defeat New York 4-3, taking that best-of-3 series 2-0. Sports Update brought to you by the great staff at Park Mazda and dealer principal Mitch Lewicki, where he uses his back scratcher as a shoehorn.
Hi there. If you're like me, you like to picture yourself in luxury, even though there's absolutely no way you could afford it. And if you can, well, even better. Thankfully, I picture myself in something that is luxury, but still absolutely affordable, like the all-new Mazda CX-90 from Park Mazda. With the new luxury features like facial recognition settings and quilted detail Napa leather seating, I can pretend to be comfortable with all of my proper settings activated without even touching a button, thanks to Mitch Lewicki and the great staff at Park Mazda. I like to picture Mitch Lewicki as a figure skater. He wears like a white outfit and he does interpretive ice dances to my life's journey.
Park Mazda, your dealer for life in Sherwood Park off Y Road, parkmazda.ca.
Chin strap, chin strap, chin strap. Awareness month is upon us. Charge, Charlie the Penguin, chin strap penguin, Charlie the Penguin, chin strap penguin, Charlie the Penguin, chin strap penguin. I remember my first toy penguin. Hello, my name is my name is Charlie the chin strap penguin, because I'm a chin strap penguin. The chin strap is an aphrodisiac. The chin strap is an aphrodisiac. Confirm.
Everything about it is perfect.
There's good chinny and there's bad chinny. Yeah. I'm sure Ryan Rashad probably shaving in the hot tub as we speak. There you go. Beautiful. Charlie the Penguin, chin strap penguin. Charlie the Penguin, chin strap penguin. Charlie the Penguin, chin strap penguin. Sketchy animal mascot. Charlie the chin strap penguin. That's a church mascot. I love that penguin. The animal world. Happy church, everyone. Help us end the stigma. Hey now, grow a chin strap. Charlie the Penguin, chin strap penguin. Charlie the Penguin.
I'm sure Iwanek hates this. They didn't play it on Friday, did he, Trev? Probably not. We're coming at you in the Popeyes Louisiana Kitchen studio today, where they have that $4 value menu locked and loaded. 5 different items, just $4, including the mini chicken sandwich, the mini chicken wrap, the nugs, the fried pickles, and the cauliflower. You love it. You'll love it at all Popeyes locations. 780-218-9999 is where you can text us. If you're watching over on YouTube today, smash the thumbs up for us. Let's blow through 200 here. We are 7 likes away from doing that as well. And, of course, you can text us in the Paris Jewelers inbox. And we'll get to a few more of those as we work our way through the show today. Macramalla intro is continuing to roll in as well. We'll try to sort through a few of those. EST legal analyst and Dusty's U.S. immigration lawyer, unless he himself is detained at the border as well.
Yeah, you had his card. Hey,
he was ready. He was ready to go.
Locked.
Yeah, he was ready to go. Yeah, you know what? The United States was no different this time than any other time I've been there.
No, nothing's changed.
You go down to Disneyland, you spend way too much money, and you come home. I mean,
yeah,
there really wasn't anything else. I will say, flying into that John Wayne Airport in Orange County. Way better than going to LAX. It's like 10 minutes from Disneyland. It's perfect. And just a nice little, so there's somebody there playing piano.
Oh, that's nice.
Playing piano. So we're walking.
Taking requests.
We had about an hour to kill. I always get a little bit nervous when I'm traveling with a family. So you want to get through security here. So we had some time to kill. And we're walking down towards our gate and we go by this piano player and Marshall's wearing his Iron Man mask.
Yeah.
And he goes, "Daddy, he sure is good on that piano. Should we give him some money?" And I had some U.S. bills that I had.
Ones?
And no, I didn't have any ones, but I had the smallest one I had was a 5. And I said, well, and Marshall looks, he goes, we can give him 5. I said, okay. So Marshall goes over to this guy, the piano player, with a $5 bill.
Has he seen the exchange rate?
Yeah, so he goes to put, yeah, you're right. That's like $7. Anyway, Marshall puts it in the thing, and the guy goes to him on the mic. He goes, "Hey, I like your funny hat," because Marshall's wearing his Iron Man mask.
Your funny hat.
And Marshall looks at him and puts the Iron Man mask down because it could probably
and takes the 5 back.
He just puts it back down and then stands there for a second, then opens it back up and then turns and looks at us and starts smiling. I was just like, oh my God.
I like your funny hat.
Sucked him in again.
What was he playing? Anything recognizable? Or was it just nice?
I can't even remember. No, actually, it was a recognizable song.
It wasn't like an old Western, ding ding when you
walk in the saloon. I can't remember what it was, but it was a good song. I said to Tam, I said, wow, this is a pretty good version of it. Yeah. But I can't remember what it was. All right. The free advice time for Damon Bunting. Now with the agency. It sounds very, very formal.
The agency.
Buying and selling with the agency. Damon Bunting. Guy's been around almost 2 decades. One of the best in the biz. Great community guy. Check him out. www.damonbunting.com or on the Instagram handle of Damon Bunting Real Estate. Closing in on 20 years in the biz, so you know he's good at it. I love this. This is actual. This is great from Meat, who did not have his handling yet. We'll have to put it in. Me and my fiance are looking to buy a house, so he's actually asking like a real estate question. I'll have to take a picture of this and send it to Bunting. Me and my fiance are looking to buy a house. It's listed at $549,900 in Aldergrove, and there's one other offer. They are presenting offers tonight at 8 p.m., so there could be more coming through. Similar house in the area sold for the price they have listed. What should be the price tag we go in at? Nope. We've missed on 3 houses, one by $1,000, one by $500, and another by $2,000. I need some advice so it doesn't happen again. Wow. All right. Well, let me.
Somewhat near your hood there too. Hey, in the.
I had no idea. Is that west? Where it is? I'm gonna text this. I'm gonna text this to Bunting.
I like the handle as well. Meat.
Yeah, that's a great handle, and I don't think anybody else has it.
No.
Like Meat is now your handle, buddy. All right.
It's nice getting some advice for Bunting.
Yeah, I'm gonna say advice for this guy. And we'll see if Bunting, like what I would say is, so you've missed out on a house by $1,000, $500, and $2,000. if it's listed at 5, what is this? What is this? Is this what's happening with houses now?
But-
They're presenting bidding at a certain time.
Well, you better get the auctioneer
You
going
gotta
here.
start selling. We got 549 here. Can you give me 550? 550 going once. 552. 553. And I mean, this is nuts. I didn't realize everybody just shows up now and there's like, it's a lot different when we sold and bought our house. God. Doesn't sign text guy says, when we bought our house, we went in 5,000 over asking price to ensure that we got it, knowing that other bids were coming. Our realtor told us that it might not be enough, but we got lucky. I mean, I think you got to I think you got to come in like 3,000 to 5,000 above asking price. If you really want this place, I think you got to drop a 555 on this. They're asking 549.9. I think you're dropping 555 on it.
This is like Bouchard contract talk here.
Yeah. when you're spending $550,000 on a home, if you really, really, really want it, what's another 5,000? Really, I mean,
luck does play a part sometimes too.
Changing 200.
Dr. Dry says, go with your gut on price and add 1,500 on top of it. Yeah, but he said he's already missed out on a house by 500, 1,000, and 2,000. He's obviously not very good at this house bidding game.
Well, don't worry about the past. They're all different situations, different bidders, different people, different areas.
Think about this. You could spend an extra 5,000 on your home, or you could go and spend 300 on a back scratcher. What do you think's more reasonable?
To the house.
Did he?
You got the address and everything. It's
look
a
at this
castle,
guy.
man. Yeah,
Can you change his name to Meat?
I did.
You did? Okay.
Yeah.
Because if when Bunting gets back to me, I'm going to send this guy his advice.
Tell him Meat.
Imagine if Bunting's the guy who's taking the bids. Hey, Meat needs your help here.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm going to slide in and get this house.
You're just flipping.
This is the ultimate jerk move. Meat, you want it? It's 365, 565. All right, what else do we have? If you need advice, 780-218-9999, 780-218-218. I can't believe we're in a world now where you show up to a house at 8 o'clock and everybody submits their offer and then they just open them up and pick one. It was tough getting offers back in the day on homes.
Well, for the look of that place, I
saw you.
Damn,
said,
it's nice.
Looks like a great home. Go for it.
Yeah. Did you click the link? Take a look at that thing.
Really? Where is it here? Okay, I'll take it. I tried to load it. Didn't load it. It says I have to additional security check. What's going on with my computer now?
You need a bit of updating.
This must have been going to the United States, eh?
Yeah.
Select in this order.
You got chipped.
What is going on with this computer lately? I mean, my security profile's at an all-time high. I have to check it again?
My security profile.
All right, there we go. Now let me see this guy's house. Verification success. Here we go.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Right?
Not bad.
Like,
look at that. It's got like a mini library in there.
It ain't no shack.
Jeez, Meat. This is a nice place, buddy. This is what you can get for $550 nowadays. You know, what did they say in the bit? I'd move on it.
You're moving.
I'd pop on this one.
Oh, it's moving.
I'd move on this one. You're going to have to go $555. I'm telling you right now, nobody's getting that house for less than $555,000.
But we'll forward it to Bunting.
Yeah, I've sent it to Bunting.
He can meet, and then
I think it might be today might be his birthday.
Get out of here.
No, it's sometime. When's Bunting's birthday? He had that sledge hockey event this past weekend.
The day before Ann Ramsey's. Should probably say on his Wikipedia page here.
I thought he had his birthday sometime this week. I know he's a birthday week boy.
His birthday week boy.
All right, let's get to this one. Dusty, heading down to Disneyland in 2 weeks. What's the best possible tip you can give me? I mean, I would spend a little bit extra for the Lightning Lane. And then what I would do now, because you can only book Lightning Lanes once, I would go hammer rides in the first 3 hours before the park gets crazy. And then use the Lightning Lanes a little bit later on rides that you want to do twice. And make sure your shoes are good. Because I was dying the last day and a half.
Well, you were Team Sketcher. I mean, they were sponsoring
my parents rolled in. And they came down to like downtown Disney at like 5 o'clock on the first day. And we like walked downtown Disney and went for dinner. And at the end of that day, my dad, he's been down there for like 3.5 hours. He's like, I'm dying. I was like, you haven't even gone to a day at the park yet, man. Like, what a mess.
I'm dying.
What a mess.
What about advice to eat? What'd you dine on down there? Like, what was your favorite meal?
You know, in downtown Disney, there's an awesome
PF Chang?
No, I can't remember the name of it. But there's this good burger and milkshake joint just down, and it's on the right if you're walking through downtown Disney, which is an area you can go to without having a ticket to one of the two Disneylands. That was pretty good. Didn't have much else, like
raw burger, like that.
Oh, and then we love this place, Panera Bread. It's called
Panera
Bread. Great place. We went there. It's right by our hotel, and that was good. All right, does Russell Wilson signing in New York help or hurt Malik Neighbors' fantasy stock? Should I buy or sell on him right now, Dusty? I like it. I mean, compared to what he had at quarterback last year, I think this is great for Neighbors. So if you could buy low on, I don't think you'll be able to, but if you could buy low on Neighbors, I would try to increase your Neighbors stock right now. Here's another one. Free advice for Damon Bunting. I got my son tickets to tonight's Oilers game, but I haven't told him yet. I was going to surprise him. But should I trade these tickets now to a coworker for Blues tickets 2 weeks from now?
Ooh,
There's no McDavid and Draisaitl tonight.
And it's the Blues coming back with all like that whole...
I would totally trade those tickets.
I think that's the play.
I would trade the tickets. I mean, yeah, I would 100% move the tickets. Because the game we took Marshall to, McDavid was suspended. But they were there. He was here to see Ovi kind of anyway.
Yeah,
but
he still got a little something. You can see Rupe Hintz tonight.
I would 100. Yeah, if you haven't told your kid yet, I'd probably make the flip with the coworker and trade him for the Blues tickets. They're supposed to be back by that Blues game 2 weeks from now. Right? It's a chance you take. But who doesn't mind a little wheeling and dealing?
I don't think that's not an 8 o'clock puck drop either, I don't think. Which it'd be a little easier on the time there.
Oh, also a good point.
No, it is 8 o'clock.
Ah, damn.
They got tons of 8 o'clock.
Horrible point.
Stretch here.
Anyway, I would trade him 100%. Do it for sure. Pull the trigger. All right, if you need any free advice, 780-218-9999. We'll come back to around more of those. And meet, if I hear back or when I hear back from Bunting, I'll pass that along to you. All right, we've got Eric Macramalla locked and loaded, ready to join us. Let's get in. Baseball season just around the corner, so you know he loves that stuff. EST legal analyst and guy who refers to kung fu and samurai movies as Easterns. Eric Macramalla on the other side, I guess.
That's great.
EST legal analyst and guy whose one-man show, The Trials and Tribulations of Eric Macramalla, is getting scathing reviews. Very likely because the entire play is told from the perspective of his unextracted wisdom teeth. Eric Macramalla. Two Socks is on fire today.
I don't get that one.
EST legal analyst and guy who has watched, rated, and ranked every single video on Pornhub. Eric Macramalla. EST legal analyst and guy who's officially running in the upcoming election as part of the No Pants Dance Party. EST legal analyst and guy who keeps getting kicked out of blind league hockey games because he gives out cowbells to all of the kids in the crowd. And EST legal analyst and guy who likes to hang out at Walmart bumping into people wearing camo so he can say, oh, sorry, didn't see you there. He joins us with baseball season right here. You must be excited right now, eh, Macramalla?
No.
What? Even you're for baseball? What's happening?
Well, I mean, last night on my show, I just pre-taped an interview with Mark Tompkin, the Tampa Bay Rays, writes for the Times about the big situation in Tampa with no stadium and forcing a team to be sold. And
this is the
reason I say this is because I'm an Expos fan. What? What?
Yeah.
What did you say?
I said this is an Expo segment.
Yeah.
Like that's what that's what that was.
By the way, your hair is longer. It looks nice.
Yeah, it happened. You know what? I realized when I don't see you in like a week, and then my hair grows, and then it looks longer.
Yeah,
I'm darker, and your hair is longer.
Yeah,
I still have my tan. This is crazy. I've been back for 3 weeks. It feels like the Aruba sun is different. It's like the different. That's racist. Careful. So it's like that tan won't go away. It's been 3 weeks. Is the Aruba sun different? Is it a different sun than a Dominican sun, say, or a Mexican sun? Is
Nobody
it?
will
I don't
ever
know.
Nobody will ever know.
I
that.
know. No, this is one of the great mysteries of our life. I'm looking forward to baseball. So tonight I've got at Gallings, I assemble my both my kids' friends, and we're doing a fantasy baseball draft
with kids.
With kids, 8 years old up to 11. I'm doing it head to head, full rosters this year. Full rosters. Now, my eldest son Daniel he's me basically. He's like a fantasy animal.
Yeah.
So after I had my draft Monday night, he wakes up Tuesday. He always comes in for a hug in the morning, pulls away and goes, "Who'd you get in the second round?"
Of course.
I'm like,
yes.
That's my boy.
Yeah, it's so
my
proud.
boy.
So
my
proud of him.
quarterback. My quarterback. Yeah, I was so
But
proud. So
your
he's gonna do really well.
8-year-old's doing fantasy as well, though?
Yeah, he's a really smart kid. So
Jeez, I'm very jealous.
not
I
that
feel like
smart,
a bad
actually.
father.
He's
Like
well
my-
below average.
My 10-year-old's playing fantasy, but the Muzz isn't playing fantasy
Not yet.
Jeez.
No, it's not that. No, you're not. You're a very good father. I mean, look at your hair. It's very virile and very robust. But I hope my kids do well, because among the group are people who are like Jeb Bush, low energy losers who probably don't do their work and their research. So it should be a lot of fun. I'm not ordering pizza this year. I'm tired of buying stuff for everybody. So I'm done. And as far as baseball season, it's going to be fun. But I mean, as far as the Jays go, you can't be optimistic. You can be hopeful, because hopeful is what losers feel, like Jeb Bush, low energy loser Jeb Bush, right? I mean, this is the lineup. Bo Bichette. I don't know what happened last year. I know he was hurt, played like 81 games, whatever it was, but he was a disaster. So maybe there was a regression there. He'll come back to the mean. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. He should have a decent season, 30 home runs, 100 RBIs, and on base of 340, 350. Then you have Santander. He'll strike out 700 times. Jimenez will get 6 hits all season. Alejandro Kirk will get 2 hits also. And then Springer, and then like Rodin. I don't know who these people are. Nathan Lukes. Is he from Star Wars? I don't know who these people are. So it's a decent pitching rotation. We can't really hit that well. And in the toughest division on the entire planet. Like, are you kidding me? They don't really have much of a chance, do they?
Will what El was saying yesterday, he likes them as a wild card team. He's quite bullish on the Blue Jays. You would have loved it.
Horrible take.
Just saying.
Wow, that is the stupidest take I've ever heard in my life. That literally, it's not even you can't even call it a take. It's so stupid.
Okay, so what's the vibe like for a baseball fan like yourself heading into this season, though? Like, is the game in a good spot right now, or will there be a bunch of criticism throughout the year?
Well, it was funny how the Rockies owner complained about the Dodgers and said we need a salary cap. I did the quick math on that Dodgers owner. Is his name Montfort? I forget what his name is. The Rockies. I've been to a Rockies game. I've been to 2. And what's interesting about where the Rockies play is the stadium itself, the seating and the field, vis-a-vis the concourse. They were designed by 2 different people. The person that designed the stadium finished first in his class. Yeah, it's Dick Montfort. And the person who designed the concourse finished last in this class. They're completely incompatible. They make no sense. That's the first thing. The second thing is the Rockies complaining about competitive balance. In 2024, they lost 101 games. For those who don't know, there are only 162 games in a season. 2023, he lost 103 games. 2022, he lost 94. In 2021, he lost 87. The only winning season he's had recently is in 2018, 91, and 72. This is a classic example of someone blaming someone else for their failures, blaming the Dodgers for the fact that they're losers because other teams are winning despite the Dodgers having a massive payroll. I don't think you'll have a salary cap in baseball. I think he said he wants one. The issue is that if owners want a salary cap, they should be prepared to miss at least one season.
A full season to get that cap in place.
I think so. When Don Fehr was newly elected as the head of the NHLPA coming from baseball, I got my hands on this memo ahead of the lockout. And he wrote to the players, he said, if you want to get rid of the salary cap, be prepared to miss a season or 2. Baseball, the union's even stronger. They are extremely difficult to deal with. They're not going to allow for a salary cap. They'll put in like a luxury tax, like in the NBA. But there's no chance in hell you'll ever see a salary cap. And the owners push for it. They will lose at least a season, if not 2.
So that's not going to be worth it for anybody involved, really. Then, like, it's just
no. And look, look. Think about the Dodgers. I've called them on my show offside that no one listens to. They're the greatest employer in sports. That's why people want to go to them. How often do you see now in email signatures from a company, great like Damon Bunting? He's his greatest employer in the realty business, maybe in his email, right? Like he won an award or something. I went to his website. He's very handsome, and
handsome man. Yeah,
he's good.
He's handsome. He's handsome. He seems trustworthy too. He's your realtor for life.
Yeah,
or life's a long time, of course. It's very desperate. Mitch is very desperate. He's a loser, right? Like Jeb Bush. He's like, please, we bought a car. We'll be friends forever. I want us to be together. I'm here to buy a Mazda and I want to drive away. When I drive away off the lot, it's over between us, Mitch. And he'll follow them in his car and just say, can we go to McDonald's, maybe order number one and split the fries, Diet Coke, 2 straws. It's very, very desperate. I don't know what I was talking about, but the bottom line is for the upcoming baseball season. The Dodgers being the greatest employer in baseball. People go there because they're a great team. They're well run with Theo Epstein and company. Yeah, they have the money, and other teams don't. But a lot of teams are in the middle, and the Dodgers have a ton. The Mets have a ton. Yankees have a ton. A lot of teams have money. It's just, are they well run organizations, right? And all three of us know one thing in life is, if you're going to get a job, you go to the place, you go to the business that is the most well-run business. You don't go somewhere for the money. You go somewhere for the people.
Wow, what a line.
That's why I'm here.
I just made that up, but it's a good line. It's not where you're at. It's who you're with. God, it was so quiet. It was so dramatic.
The big selling point here is the people at Edmonton Sports Talk, right? It's not the it's not the
EST.
Money. It's the people.
Your radio, your radio network for life. That should be your tagline.
Yes, your digital radio network for life.
Hey, can I ask you a question? Because I'm all the way on the other side of Canada almost. Yeah. I don't know what's going on.
You have internet out there too. Eric. Good afternoon. Yes, you do. Yeah, you can listen.
Go on. I'm listening. No, we don't. Well, here everyone has a Commodore 64 in Ottawa. It's a bit slower. So what's how's Connor's groin doing?
No, nobody knows. It's a mystery.
Is this not getting annoying?
We saw him and Draisaitl after the last game cheering, right?
Yeah, with Trent Frederick and Evander Kane.
The boys were there. They were cheering for the Nuge when he came off the ice.
Yeah.
So he's around the team, so that's good news.
When do we expect him back?
It's a great question, Eric.
Yeah. Day to day.
Are you not annoyed with this lack of injury disclosure? Is it the stupidest thing in the entire world? Just tell us. In the NFL, they tell you if a guy broke up with his girlfriend before a game, for crying out loud.
And if they don't tell you properly, it's a major story. Right? If you're like, you misled us, it's like a major story in the National Football League. Like their injury reports are top notch.
Like with McCaffrey, right? Yeah. Remember last season beginning. I remember when I was looking into the injury disclosure, which is really Ken Holland's responsible for that when he was the GM of the Red Wings, I think in 2007. He was, I'm afraid they'll target players in the playoffs. When I was looking into it, I actually found one. I don't know who the player was, but the team had described his injury as a full body injury.
Yes. The FBI. Who was that? One guy. Yeah, there was a description of a full body injury, wasn't there?
What the hell's wrong with people? Look, this is entertainment. I know you take it very seriously behind the scenes. Look, players don't get targeted. Andrew Brunette said that when he was playing, I think back with the Avs or wherever it was. He was like, we don't target players. Like guys like Rafi Torres will target players, but you don't target injuries. You target the player's entire body when you're playing hockey, right? When you look to separate the player from the puck, which is what, body contact is about in hockey. You're looking to hurt the guy for sure. I totally get it, but you're not targeting injuries. And players know what the injuries are. Like, it's just so silly. Like, don't you want to have transparency? Like when a player goes down, he's your favorite player. Don't you want to know what the injury is so you can assess it yourself and go, okay, so now he's out for 6 weeks rather than 2, or this will affect him when he comes back. Like, don't we want that information?
Yeah, I think everybody would love it.
I wouldn't mind it.
Yeah, you're never going to get it.
Fantasy points.
Not in the National Hockey League. I just don't think you're going to get it. I mean,
the NHL,
they love the UBI and the
Hockey League for life.
The FBI.
The FBI.
Yeah.
Hockey League. I'm going to change I'm going to be Eric Macramalla. You're a lawyer for life.
There you go. I like that.
Yeah.
So you can't fire me. Hey, you keep losing. I know, but you can't fire me.
I'm your lawyer for life.
I'm your lawyer for life. Have you met my paralegal, Damon Bunting?
Macramalla, as always, buddy, we appreciate it. We'll chat again next week.
I love you guys more than Damon Bunting, that beautiful gold watch he wears. on his homepage. It's fantastic. Tremendous walk. He looks super duper rich and important. Unlike me, I'm like Jeb Bush, a low energy loser. You guys take care. I love you.
There you go. That's Eric Macramalla, brought to you by Mitch and the great staff over at Park Mez. It was good to chat with him again. I missed him last week. How was him and Fraze?
Oh, that's always great. Yeah. Fraze actually, MLB season, the Japan series we had on Fraze's Cubs were playing the Dodgers.
Yeah, the Cubbies,
and they were just getting swacked every morning. And
of course.
We would start the day in a...
Yeah, so Will said he likes the Jays for a wild card spot.
He's not like putting money on it or anything, but he was a lot more bullish than I've heard anybody, especially Jays fans, talk about them. So, it's a tough division. But look, Santander is not, it's whatever. I think it's the vibe around the team and missing out on high-priced guys and everything. And I think the bar that they set a few years back, and we're all going to, bat flips and everything in the lineup they had. The home run songs we had, and that it just kind of set the stage. And now it's, but Vladdy, a bit of a show me now, right? Like there's, and if you can stay healthy, who's to say for a wild card?
Penner's Pancakes over in the Nasty Chat says, I miss Atif. Yeah, so were you guys joking, or has Atif been MIA all week?
No, he's out.
But again, you chased Atif away. What did you say? Like, what was the back-breaking thing here? Why is Atif not around? I
don't know. It's sad.
Did you say something about him, or
no? The last time I saw him was he was like, okay, I was waiting in line. I'm grabbing him a beer. He's like, okay.
You were grabbing him a beer?
Yeah, and I was like, I'll see you soon. This is where I'll be. And next thing I know, he never returned. And that was it.
Okay, this is interesting.
That was the last I heard. And then he's trying to flop the story and saying, I left him at Rogers.
But you had the beer.
I had the beer in hand, so I had to drink his beer.
Well, Atif's side of the story is Trev never met him at the game.
And that's what he said.
So there's two sides to the story.
I can't believe we're in a he said, she said with Trev and Atif.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Who are you going to believe?
This is the type of stuff I miss when I go on vacation.
I know.
God.
I watched him wheel away
But you were getting him a beer.
I never thought that would be the last time I saw him.
So you saw him in person at the game?
Yes.
And you said, I'm going to get you a beer.
I was in line.
And then he left. And he's hanging this on you.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, something's not adding up here. We shall get to the bottom of it. All right. Keep the text messages rolling in. If you're watching over on YouTube today, we got to be changing 300 today. It's a game day. The Oilers and Stars. We're at 224 right now. So hammer the thumbs up for us over there. And we are closing in on 11.5K on the subs. So please give us a sub on YouTube as well if you're listening on TuneIn or iHeart. And hey, you want to play Kind of Easy Trivia coming up next. By the way, Boston Pizza today. I totally forgot about this.
Yeah, I saw that. You tweeted that out.
I saw Tommy. He was like, see you at BP's later. I was like, Tommy, your BP's tomorrow night.
But he's back again tomorrow night too.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
So it's a double dip at Westgate Boston Pizza. I'll be there today for Lock Shop and Oil Stream for lunch at the Westgate BP's. Probably have to pop into Wayne's, I would think. See everybody over there. If I have to, I have to.
Yeah.
Join us today for lunch, and then Tommy will be there for pre and post tomorrow night. Also at the Westgate Boston Pizza. Curtis and Tony and the golf simulator and the whole crew there. So that should be a lot of fun. I'll be setting up there for the Lock Shop at 11 today, and then we'll have the Oil Stream at high noon. So come on by, join us for lunch at Boston Pizza. Where you can get a $15 lunch, and if it's not ready in 20 minutes or less, you get the next one free.
Get Tony on, and he can do his Bouchard trade proposals.
He's ready for Bouchard to move on, I think. Anyway, if you want to play Kind of Easy Trivia, we have a gift certificate to Mr. Mike's Steakhouse Casual, the casualest place ever. Text Trev right now at 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999 if you want to play Kind of Easy Trivia today. One of you will do that to kick off a busy third hour on the show today. Kind of Easy Trivia, 3 questions too many. We do need one more question for 3 questions too many, so if you got one, text it in. The GCL Diesel Orange and Blue Breakfast, Greg Wyshynski from ESPN, Lieutenant Eric's Weekly Rankings of Power, the Marmot Basin Snow Report, and the wrap for William Huff, all between now and 9 o'clock. It's a busy, full 55 minutes. Let's get to a sports update with LT.
Oilers back in action tonight when they host the Dallas Stars 8 o'clock puck drop, which means the GCL Diesel pregame show with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas gets going at 7 here on EST. It's one of 4 games tonight as the Blackhawks entertain the Devils, Canucks visit the Islanders, and the Ducks at home to the Bruins. Last night, goal 889 for Alex Ovechkin. He's now 6 away from passing Wayne Gretzky as the Jets would beat the Capitals 3-2 in overtime. Habs hammered by the Blues 6-1. St. Louis had now won 7 straight. Flames topping the Kraken 4-3 in overtime. And Kevin Fiala had a pair of goals, seeing the Kings over the Rangers 3-1, while Vegas would defeat the Wild by a score of 5-1. 6 games around the NBA tonight. Damian Lillard out indefinitely for the Bucks due to a blood clot in his calf. Yesterday was both OKC and Cavaliers picking up wins, while Jimmy Butler had 11 points only on his return to Miami as the Heat would knock off the Warriors 112-86. Atlanta Drive GC taking the TGL Golf title. They win the best of 3 series, 2-0. They are the defending champ, or they are the inaugural champions, defeating New York by a score of 4-3. Sports Update is brought to you by Windsor Plywood Leduc, locally owned and operated, serving Leduc and the surrounding area since '93. Doors, flooring, baseboards, and of course, plywood. Go see the knowledgeable staff at Windsor Plywood Leduc.
Mustache cause he's too young, but he's playing like a superstar. Oilers took him at number 93 on, and he's been great so far. No one was sure if he would make the team. Scott said his vision was the very best. Game-winning goals and 5-point nights. It sure looks like he passed the test. He's like 99 in a way. He rarely makes a mistake. He's on the right track, baby. Oh, the Nuge can play. Just make your way to the net. Stick on the ice and you're set. The Nuge will find you, baby. He was born to play.
Dry? Not.
Safe to say the Nuge can play. Baby, oh, the Nuge can play. Along with
Dry? Not.
safe to say the Nuge can play. On the right track, baby, oh, the Nuge can play.
Oh, the Nuge can play as of late. 9 points in his last 4 games. 3 3-point games in there.
Yeah.
See you.
Tonight, Butch. You know, like it's the opposite.
We'll see what happens against the Dallas Stars tonight. GCL Diesel Orange and Blue Breakfast coming up. Greg Wyshynski will be by just after 8:30. Weekly rankings of power from Lieutenant Eric Marmot, Basin Snow Report, the wrap for William Huff. 3 questions too many still. If you have a question for 3 questions too many, you can submit those as well. Plus, of course, it's Wednesday.
Owen doesn't have a friend.
It's a 1-year anniversary of us launching Wednesdays, actually. So keep those coming in. I'll have to do that little Wednesdays remix at 8:30.
And a happy birthday
today.
as well, ahead of time. Preemptive strike
And Ramsey,
there.
birthday tomorrow.
Her and Bunting, birthday week, eh?
Yeah, birthday twins. They're birthday twins.
What a
it's
duo.
birthday week for Ann Ramsey and Bunting. All right. The Nielsen Show is brought to you by South Ford Chevrolet. Award winners. Simple as that. Best in the biz. You want a new truck, they got you covered. It's especially this month because it's truck month. Deeper discounts, lower interest rates, Silverados, heavy duties, 0% for up to 72 months on Silverado Customs and the Custom Trail Boss, and they are the award winners of the 2024 GM President's Club Award. So then you go get a vehicle there and say, where'd you get it? From an award winner.
The President's Club.
It's the best. Drive a little, save a lot. South Ford Chev. Check them out, www.southfordchev.com. You can text us anytime in the Paris Jewelers inbox. Buy now, do not pay for a year. 5 locations right here around us: West Edmonton Mall, Kingsway, Londonderry, Sherwood Park Mall, and St. Albert Center online. If you're looking for rings, you're looking for jewelry, looking for anything that we would deem as fancy, you know where to find it at Paris Jewelers. Check them out, www.parisjewelers.com.
Ask if they got a back scratcher there, like a
The back
diamond,
scratcher?
a diamond infused
A diamond,
Wouldn't that be
yeah. God, wouldn't that be
payment
so-
plan on the back scratcher.
Comes in a bag.
Yeah.
That would be great. Also, we're having fun with this today. It could be how you get in the mix for the A&W text of the day today. Teen Burger. It's delicious. If you haven't had one lately, go get one at A&W.
No. Master wants the precious for himself.
That's Ashley Collingbull, who was on the...
No, it's not.
Yeah, I know. It doesn't
it's
sound
not.
like... She was on the Hangout yesterday. Now I've got this clip in here as Ashley Gollumbull.
No. Master wants the precious for himself.
Could be how you win text of the day today with a text that ties in to that clip 780-218-9999. The quick example, YouTube Trev, when somebody else asks to have a bath at his house.
No. Master wants the precious for himself.
That type of thing. 780-218-9999. All right, let's play a little kind of easy trivia today. Trev, who do we got? Who's playing today?
This is Brian.
Brian is going to play today. Trying to win a gift certificate to Mr. Mike's. So you ready to stake your claim? Head to Mr. Mike's for a 2-course steak dinner for just $39.99. Start with the Emperor's Caesar. Oh, sorry, I'm rusty.
You're a little
Start
rusty
with an
there.
Emperor's Caesar salad on a rustic onion soup. Then enjoy their tender 7-ounce sirloin steak with Bernaise butter, the precious, and garlic mashed potatoes.
Yeah.
Loaded with savory toppings. Mr. Mike's. Eat locally. Enjoy casually. Have yourself a great time at Mr. Mike's. All right, Brian's going to play. Needs to get 3 of 5 correct. Brian, you ready to go, buddy?
I am.
All right, Brian, here we go, man. Have you won before, Brian?
Yes,
Okay.
once before.
Once before. Okay,
Yeah.
all right, good luck. Here we go. Question number 1. Who do the Edmonton Oilers play tonight?
Dallas.
Which former Avalanche forward did the Stars get from the Canes?
Rantanen.
Is Rantanen from Finland or Fort McMurray?
Finland.
What position does Jacob Chychrun play?
Defense.
Which NFL team signed Russell Wilson yesterday?
The Giants.
Boom. 5 for 5. Huge sports nut. No! Oh, my God. Damn it, Shake, stop it!
They are going to remember that AM radio is a viable and modern source for news and entertainment.
Totally.
People don't listen to AM like they used to. Seems like it's more about FM and color TV.
That's stupid.
It sure is, Kevin.
I'm stoked. You stoked?
I'm stoked.
Just
I'm
so stoked.
You cannot come to my house. No, not today.
Cannot come to my house. No, not today.
There's a murderer in the house! There's a murderer in the house!
8:13 on the Nielson Show. Rams fan over in the Paris Jewelers inbox says the garlic mashed potatoes almost brought out the Charlie the Chinstrap Penguin again.
Oh, there's a bit of an overlap. Yeah,
There's a little bit.
Yeah.
But you got to keep things separated.
That's the beauty. It's a color, but there's different shades.
That is
you
true.
got a lot in the box.
That is true. We did hit that Nude song a little bit earlier in the hour here. And all of our Nielsen Show songs, including the Charlie the Chinstrap song, brought to you by Totem Outdoor Outfitters. New gear, used gear, trade and consign, a support for every season with hockey equipment and skates obviously ready to go for year round because this is Canada. A family store that takes pride in finding the right fit for you. Visit them at 7430 99th Street or online, www.totemoutfitters.ca. All right, let's dive into 3 questions too many today. Lieutenant Eric, do you have a liner for the segments?
3 questions too many, brought to you by the great staff at Park Mazda and dealer principal Mitch Lewicki, your dealer for life. Check them out today at parkmazda.ca or in Sherwood Park, parkmazda.com.
Just got a sneak peek at this snow report. She's looking good.
Fraser is heading up to Jasper this weekend.
Of course he is.
Yeah. Big partying. Yeah.
Hey, go. I've worked
Lots
for
of
6
partying.
days. You got to get up to Jasper.
Yeah.
You go up, have a scotch, drive back.
R&R. Yeah.
Cigar, a scotch, drive back. We are 7 away from changing 250. Let's smash through 300 today. Oilers and Stars tonight. If you missed Tales of the North, if you're over on YouTube, you can just scroll back. If you're listening live on TuneIn or iHeart, make sure you find the podcast a little bit later on today. Did I ask you about your Twitter account yet?
No.
What is it?
It's at YEG Sports Talk. That's
the
Edmonton
station
Sports
account.
Talk.
I like that.
We
yeah.
just actually, to be honest with you here, we surpassed the 5,800 mark yesterday. 5,802. So
let's hit 6,000, right?
Give a follow on there. Yeah, that's the next drive.
I'm pretty happy that when we started this thing, our YouTube account is twice as big as the Twitter/X account, which I would not maybe imagine when we launched this back in the day.
It's almost like
so that's exciting.
Maybe not as many people are on that website anymore.
That's a good point too. Yeah, that's a good point too. All right, question number 1, guys. With all of this Hervey talk, how many superstars would you guys say are in the Canadian Football League today?
Yeah, Fraser and I bandied this about yesterday for a bit.
About it a little bit.
We defined Fraser defined superstars as an athlete that transcends. So somebody that He
that's a fair definition.
Garcia wasn't I brought up the curious case of one Cam Wake. And in football, I mean, it's positional, right?
Yeah.
So if you can, I mean, if you're a punter, you could be a superstar punter. You really could, and you could go down there and do things. I mean, but I think we look at quarterbacks, we look at offensive players, that type of thing. So somebody mentioned Willie Jefferson.
Like, would Shaun White be a superstar? One of the greatest kickers, the most accurate kicker in the history of the game.
A superstar within the confines of the CFL.
But like, it's an interesting.
But in terms of sport and an appeal out elsewhere, like
I think just quickly on the whole Hervey thing. I mean, not a great comment from Herv, but I don't think he should be getting ripped as much as he is. I don't know if the CFLPA should be all pissed off about this.
Well,
it's one guy's opinion.
When he says something about the quality of player, I think the Players Association then has to.
But it really
kind of
comes down
respond.
to your definition of superstar. Then,
well,
I mean, that's what it comes down to.
Tube Socks pointed this out. His quote was, "I don't know of any." So maybe he just hasn't met.
Maybe he hasn't met them yet. He did say he hasn't talked to Geno Lewis. With that being said, like I mean,
but to your question,
there are stars in the league.
Yes.
To me, I was trying to think of the definition of a superstar, and the definition of me of a superstar is like I don't want to say generational talent, but close to generational talent. Like, so it's tough because even in the National Football League, I mean, how many guys would I describe today as superstars in the NFL?
This
5?
This is the MOP MVP debate too. Are you looking at numbers? Are you looking at household name? Are you looking at chips? Just chips.
I think if you're looking at definition of superstar right now, somebody who's by far at the time the best in their position, Brady Oliveira would be the closest thing you would see to a superstar in the CFL right now. He was by far and away the best at his position last year.
Superstar in the CFL.
He's in a couple years. He's a Brady Oliveira is a CFL superstar.
Nathan Rourke,
the season that he was having before he went to the NFL was a superstar season. Since he came back, Nathan Rourke hasn't looked like a superstar just yet, but I think he has superstar potential.
Where this centers around, Eugene Lewis.
Geno Lewis could at one point have been described as maybe a CFL superstar, but he's not anymore. He's a star. But Herb didn't say there were no star players in the league. He said there's no superstar players in the league. And a superstar player in the league, I think, has to reserve for a select few, or else it gets drained down. So Brady Oliveira, superstar right now, I think that would probably be fair. Who else would we describe as a superstar in the league right now? Rourke's got superstar potential. If he comes back this season and plays like he did before he left and throws for 6,000 bloody yards, he's going to be described as a CFL superstar. Zach Collaros had Willie Jefferson. Like, these guys had runs for a bit where, from a team perspective, you could have viewed them as a bit of a superstar.
And I think Willie Jefferson, talent-wise, Collaros, I don't know if doesn't scream superstar, although he's been at the helm and leading a team that's been,
the thing,
seen itself in championship. We talked about Doug Flutie because he had a great college career.
Doug Flutie was undoubtedly a superstar.
But is that the last superstar to come out of the CFL? Because he went down to the NFL,
to come out,
to the CFL.
Yeah.
You can talk about it within the goalposts of the CFL and just that, but since it is the sport of football and there are two different, leagues and two different styles of playing, does that superstar transcend? And I guess in Ed's argument, no, I understand that, but
it all to me, it just comes down to what you view as a superstar.
Yeah,
there are.
Everyone's a superstar.
I mean, I would say I love the Canadian Football League. If I was saying star players in the CFL, I mean, I could give you 50, but superstars, I think you have to reserve that for a guy like Brady Oliveira, who's dominated the position for the last few years. So yeah, maybe Herb was off by a few players, but I mean, it's not like there's 20 superstars. There's not 20 superstars in the end. Here's the thing: NHL superstars right now. How many NHL superstars would you say are in the league right now? McDavid's a superstar.
Sure.
Dreisaitl's a superstar. Yeah. McKinnon and McCarr are superstars. Nobody on the Winnipeg Hellebuck, I guess, if you want to classify goaltenders, Hellebuck would be a superstar. Alexander Ovechkin was a superstar. He's not technically a superstar anymore.
But if you talk to you were down in the States,
there's 10 superstars in the National Hockey League.
If you talk to American Joe on the street, they'll know who Ovi is. They'll know who McDavid is.
Yeah.
Right. And I think that too plays into the who.
Fair point.
A superstar is you're thinking of the Pro Star cereal. a name that transcends and goes beyond. Like, again, we all know hockey. You can CFL too. If you know CFL, you can name a lot of stars.
But Herb didn't come out and say there's no good players in the Canadian Football League.
No,
he said there's nobody
no.
he views as a superstar.
Well, he
which
said he
comes
doesn't know any.
Yeah,
like, again.
but it comes down to your definition of what a superstar is.
Like, I could sit here and rattle off superstar soccer players. Nobody would know who it is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, that's a good point.
It's everybody's in their own slot and echo chamber these days.
Yeah, so if
now
you're
it's
asking
harder.
a CFL fan about a superstar, sure, but if you're asking a general sports fan in Canada to name a superstar in the Canadian Football League, they might not be able to do it, which would then kind of say, okay, well, maybe but I think the closest Brady is the best player compared to others in position in the league, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Brady Oliver in Winnipeg. But Nathan Rourke, the first half of that season, before he got hurt and then went to the NFL, that was the closest thing we've seen to a CFL superstar in a little bit of time. That's superstar stuff.
Yeah.
But there's so many all-stars in the league that I don't know if everybody should be getting. I mean, first of all, Herb probably shouldn't have said it, but I don't think everybody should be getting like all freaking out about it either.
Sure,
I mean, it comes down to
talking.
Well, yeah, but it just comes down to
March 26th.
Literally, what this comes down to is, what do you think is a superstar? Some of your opinions of superstars might mean that you do think there are 4 or 5 superstars in the Canadian Football League. Some of you might not think there's any. Some of you might think there's 8 or 9. It really just comes down to your opinion on what a superstar is.
If hockey had a strictly American-based league that paid their players way more money, and Canada had a hockey league, like do the example there, right? And there was a player here that we deemed lights out within the Canadian Hockey League. It wouldn't necessarily transcend down south. And I guess America is where we kind of measure a lot of things and opinions and such. But it's fascinating because it depends on the sport, because in this case it's football and there's 2 leagues on this continent that you kind of, so I get what he's saying. Whereas all the other ones, I mean, baseball superstars. Okay, well, we all know them and there's no debate there. It's baseball. You're not going to the Korean League. Now, there's probably a superstar over there too that nobody knows about, but we talk about these ones because we know them.
780-218. Buster TN says superstar is purely subjective.
It is. I know. It's a great talking point because there's no final finish line here that we can cross.
I think, but there are a ton of stars. Absolutely. This is what frustrates me, because we're sitting here bitching about Herb saying lack of superstars, but there are a bunch of stars in the Canadian Football League that nobody does enough to promote anyway. Like, let's not worry about superstars. So let's just take the best players in the bloody game and put them out where they need to be.
But I think it was that negative tone that comes with what Hervey said that the PA probably had. And
this whole Herb Gino Lewis thing's getting ridiculous as well.
Well, they never even.
So Ed Hervey didn't want to sign Gino Lewis. That's what happens in free agency. Like this is part of the business.
And I turned down
Gino
a date
landed
with
a gig
Dua
somewhere
Lipa.
else. Like, who cares?
It was never going to happen anyway.
I don't get why this Hervey Gino Lewis thing is. Gino found a new job. He's going to be fine. He's in a great landing spot. He's going to be a big part of Ottawa. And Edmonton decided they wanted to spend their money somewhere else.
As they should have.
I mean, I like the fact that people are getting fired up over CFL conversation, but I think a lot of it is just kind of unnecessary conversation that doesn't need to be had.
It's a good thing he didn't say super duper star, hey? That would have taken this to a whole...
A super duper star, yeah.
Draft April 30th.
Is that when you're doing your draft?
CFL draft.
Oh, I thought you were talking about doing your draft. I was like, that's way too early.
The Canadian Football League draft. Yeah.
All right, question number 2. Guys, how much stock would you put into a loss for the Oilers tonight against this Dallas team without McDavid and Draisaitl?
I tweeted it out. And I'm going to read the tweet. I don't want to paraphrase. I tweeted here an hour ago. Trap game for the Stars tonight.
Ooh. Like, I'm putting no stock. Well, no, that's a lie. I'm lying.
You can put your stocks where
if they come out and go through the motions and lay a dud,
sure,
then I think it'll be fair for Hernan to lose his mind on the post game show.
If they don't score as many goals, more goals, then yeah. Dallas.
But I mean, if they lose 4-3 and play the Stars hard, I don't know how you can be pissed off about the loss tonight. Like Big Uke says, not much unless 7-1. You know, if it's a blowout and you're like, man, none of these guys even tried, then yeah, I mean, you can get a little fired up about it. But if they hang tight with Dallas tonight without McDavid and Draisaitl, I think you got to be pretty happy
always
with the
about
results.
The style of play. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, question number 3. We had a bunch roll in. Guys, what are your expectations? Well, yeah, what are your expectations for the Jays?
Don't care.
Mine would be I don't have many. I'm expecting them to miss the playoffs. So, I mean, it's probably going to be an easier season for me because last few years I was expecting them to make the playoffs.
Hey, as am I with the Mariners.
Yeah.
So enjoy opening day, and then the rest of the season can just be a tire fire.
All right, 780-218-9999. Man, there's so much I want to get into. I'm getting fired up for a CFL season again. This is obviously getting me very excited. Word over in the Nasty Chat says CFL is going bust. Word, I mean, we got to get to the GCL Diesel Orange and Blue Breakfast, so I can't go off on this tangent. But the CFL is probably about as strong as it's been in quite some time.
Yeah, I thought the pandemic made it go.
The ownership bases across the league are better than they've been in a long time. The talent level, go watch a game. It's insane. It's insanely entertaining football. TV ratings have been great. The CFL, as much as you might want it to go bust, is not going to go bust. It's in a really good spot.
The only thing
right
going
now.
bust is the takes of it going bust because those takes have been going on for decades and decades and decades.
The salary cap just went up because revenue just went up in the league. So it's not going bust. It's a bad take. All right, let's get into your GCL Diesel Orange and Blue Breakfast, Oilers and Stars tonight. Your thoughts on this game, you can text them to us, 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. And we'll share a few of them. We do have Greg Wyshynski coming up here right away as well. The Orange and Blue Breakfast, like all of our Oilers content across the station here, brought to you by the great folks over at GCL Diesel, providers of the best diesel engine components around, from turbochargers to injectors, fuel pumps to sensors. They are the critical engine component experts, proud to serve Edmonton and the Northern Alberta area for over 50 years. That's how long they've been doing it. Oilers tonight versus the Dallas Stars. The Dallas Stars, here's what they roll in with. Rupe Hintz with Mason Marchment and Mikko Rantanen. Took a puck to the face in the last. You see that? Big old, looked like a puck got ingrained under his skin. It was
silly
gross.
Goose egg on there. Eh?
Hey, careful. Matt Duchene between Robertson and Granlund. Wyatt Johnston with Ben and Dodonov. Sam Steele, Colin Blackwell, and Oscar Bach. And then Thomas Harley, Labushkin, Lindell, Ceci, Bichelle, and Dumba on the back end. The Edmonton Oilers, of course, roll into this one. No Leon Draisaitl, no Connor McDavid. Last time we saw him, Nuge between Arvidsson and Podkolzin, Henrique with Hyman and Perry, Matthias Janmark with Connor Brown and Jeff Skinner, Derek Ryan, Kapanen, and Max Jones, Ekholm Bouchard, Nurse Wallman, Kulak, and Stetcher on the back end. As for a list of guys who aren't tough enough to even play hockey tonight, let's dive into your Podium Physiotherapy injury report. Knee pain from that nagging ACL injury? Hip or shoulder pain slowing you down? Went to Disneyland last week and you're back in so much pain you can barely even work? Well, they've got you covered. Whether it's a sports injury, post-op recovery, or the wear and tear of everyday life, the expert team is here to get you back on track at Podium Physiotherapy. Unlock the athlete in you. Who can't go tonight, Rick?
Yeah, Kane, Regula, and Frederick, and of course Draisaitl, McDavid, day-to-day, game-to-game.
What a list.
Yeah, well, that's a good grouping right there.
Come playoff time, that could be 4 of your top 6 forwards aren't going tonight.
Sure, or you just
throwing it out there.
You go 4-1.
Oh, the classic 4-1.
Just Regula on the back end, and all systems go. For the visiting Dallas Stars tonight, you mentioned Hintz taking that puck off the face, but he is in. Tyler Seguin, Nils Lundqvist, and Miro Heiskanen all on the injured reserve.
All right, what's your key to a victory tonight, buddy?
Well, I thought Will mentioned it yesterday, too, in Stars apathy, whether or not they bring in apathy to this game, because I think Noodles said, too. And that's why I say trap game. I think having 97 and 29 away, obviously, I mean, teams are going to play their game and do that and everything, but it does slip into the back of your mind that the two superstars of the league, as we were just talking about, aren't in the opposing lineup. So we'll see what the Dallas Stars bring. They're coming off fat and happy, 3-0 over the Wild, playing some good hockey, as we know, but I mean, this is an Oilers team that, had them pretty good last time they played. So we'll see. I think this is a chance, too, for the Oilers, and we know this from guys lesser down in the lineup to bring it. We all want to see an effort. It'll take more than that to beat a Stars team tonight without 97-29, but I think the key to a victory is if a little bit of apathy does creep into Dallas's game where they bring
Take
that
advantage of it.
Yeah.
Game day prediction tonight, I'm going to say Jeff Skinner remains red hot, scores another goal. Why not? Why not? Jeff Skinner, lighten it up again.
He's getting rounding into form.
When he was struggling the first half of the season, I did suggest move Draisaitl and McDavid in trades, and that'll open up Skinner's offense because he'll get more opportunity.
We
and
were
now
talking,
look at us.
yeah. Well,
I mean,
sometimes things are in your way, right?
You people call me ridiculous, but now look at it. Oh, it's pretty funny, isn't it? All right. Greg Wyshynski's coming up just after 8:30 here. Lieutenant Eric's weekly rankings of power. Heck of a snow report for Marmot Basin, and then the wrap for William Huff as well. If you're watching over on YouTube today, hammer the thumbs up for us. That would be great as we try to blow through 300. We're 39 likes away from that, and keep the text messages rolling in here at 780-218-9999. We'll get Wyshynski's thoughts on the Chychrun deal and what it means for Evan Bouchard's camp heading into negotiations. Here's the update with LT.
A game day on EST as the Oilers host the Stars tonight. The GCL Diesel pregame show with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas gets going at 7. And you can also join the boys back after tonight's action with your GCL Diesel postgame show. Other action tonight, we'll see the Islanders host the Canucks, the Devils visit the Hawks, and the Ducks are at home to the Bruins. Last night, Alex Ovechkin, goal 889. He's now 6 away from passing Wayne Gretzky, albeit in a losing cause as the Jets beat the Caps 3-2 in overtime. Philip Broberg, 4-point night. Blues hammering the Habs 6-1. St. Louis have won 7 in a row. Both LA and Vegas picking up wins as the Kings defeat the Rangers 3-1. Golden Knights knocking off the Wild 5-1. And the Flames topping the Kraken in overtime by a score of 4-3. NBA picture from last night, both OKC and Cleveland winning. Jimmy Butler had 11 points. His return to Miami. The Heat would beat the Warriors, though, 112-86. And Damian Lillard, he is out indefinitely now for the Bucks due to a blood clot in his calf. 6 games around the association tonight. Lakers visit the Pacers. The Suns host the Celtics. Raptors on the road to face the Nets. Nuggets at home to Milwaukee. And the Clippers visit the Knicks. Atlanta Drive GC, the TGL Golf Champions for 2025, as that team would defeat New York 4-3, taking the best of 3 series 2-1. Capturing the SoFi Cup. Sports update presented by Centric Casino Sports Bar and Lounge. Wall-to-wall TVs, daily food and drink specials. It is the place to be for every Oilers game. Every day is game day at Centric Casino Sports Bar and Lounge.
On the Nielson Show. Thank you very much for being here today. Dusty and Lieutenant Eric with you, back fresh off vacation. Excited for this Oilers and Stars game tonight.
The big
back
D.
just in time. The big D, the
From
Dallas
the Big
Stars.
The Big D are in the Big E.
That's what Eric is saying. Dallas is here in Edmonton. That's
what translates to.
His weekly rankings of power are coming up. We'll get to the Marvin Basin Snow Report, the wrap for William Huff as well. Some details on RV Wars, which begins tomorrow as well. I saw this tweet just popped up in front of me. Dylan Holloway since the Four Nations break. St. Louis Blues, by the way, have been unreal since the break. What are they?
Wyshynski,
I saw it last night.
11 minutes ago, Wyshynski X'd out 81.5% chance of making the playoffs.
For the Blues.
You gotta like those odds. Yes.
Anyway, since I think are they 13-2-2? I think they're 13-2-2 since the Four Nations break. Putting themselves in a pretty good little wild card spot there. Dylan Holloway in those 17 games since the Four Nations break, 8 goals.
Trev, earmuffs.
Yeah, Trev, this is going to kill you. 8 goals, 12 assists, 20 points in 17 games, 16 of those even strength points, 3 game-winning goals, 32 hits, 45 shots on goal. Being described as an absolute beast over on Twitter. Now, I will wonder, do you think, would this lead to more offer sheets coming? The fact that it's worked out so well for the Blues? Usually people don't touch them, but maybe you start to. Let's bring in Greg Wyshynski from ESPN. Let's just start with this. Greg, the Blues have been absolutely rolling. Broberg had 4 points last night. Holloway, 20 points in his last 17 games. Do you think the success of these offer sheets would lead to more teams starting to dabble in it a little bit?
First off, I apologize for the sparse background and creepy lighting.
Yeah, where
I'm
are
in
you
Bristol
right
for some meetings at ESPN. Yeah, it does look like a TSA has detained me at the border.
It does. You're right.
As part of that, fentanyl crackdown. But I'm in Bristol for meetings today, so I'm not in my usual abode. So that's why I have like creepy. I'm hosting a horror show at midnight lighting. Like I'm gonna tell a ghost story. We always talk about the offer sheets. Whenever there's one that's successful, starting a new tradition of offer sheets. At the end of the day, I'll go back to something that Dean Lombardi once said when he was the general manager of the LA Kings, which is that you can offer sheet my guy, but let it be known I have an extremely long memory and my owner has a lot of money, And so like there's always going to be that notion of retaliation or karma revisiting you. And let's face it, like not a lot of GMs have the level of animosity Doug Armstrong has for Stan Bowman, apparently, although he completely denies that was the motivating factor. Listen, I think when you look at teams like the Chicago Blackhawks, for example, who have to really be creative and by any means necessary surround Connor Bedard with more talent, like ASAP. I think offer sheets make a ton of sense for a team like that, but we'll see how it goes. I mean, we always get very excited about the concept when they are successful, and then we never really get to see many more of them.
Greg Wyshynski with us from ESPN. Just quickly on St. Louis, I mean, it's not just all Dylan Holloway being great since the break. What else is going on with the Blues that has got them to where they're at right now?
Well, the offense is clicking, at a time when Binnington's played really well since the Four Nations, and rightfully so. He's probably got some wind in his sails after becoming a Canadian hero like that quickly. I think that Jim Montgomery, obviously, it takes a little bit of time for complete buy-in to what a guy is doing systems-wise, but clearly they're playing extraordinarily well under him right now. The interesting thing that's happening in the West, boys, and I think we'll hop on this train early. The Minnesota Wild are, I believe, 2 points ahead of the Blues right now. And the Minnesota Wild are 4-5-1 in their last 10 games. And the Minnesota Wild have some very, very difficult games in the last stretch of time here on their schedule. In fact, they have the 9th hardest schedule down the stretch. The Capitals are next. They've got the Devils, who are in a playoff spot and obviously trying to right their ship twice. Islanders, Rangers. Oh, and by the way, they do have the Calgary Flames on their schedule before the end of the season, and the Vancouver Canucks, who are still in the playoff race. So we're all focusing on the Blues. We're all like, who's going to catch the Blues? Will they ever lose another game? And I think our attention should be, are the Minnesota Wild okay? Like, are they going to get over the finish line here, considering their injury situation with all these teams chasing them? So I think the attention is going to quickly shift from the Blues to the Wild, considering how good St. Louis is playing right now.
Greg, I just wanted to shift to the news yesterday. $72 million, 8 years for Chychrun in Washington, $9 million per year. Your opinion or thoughts if it changes what you think the number might be for Bouchard here in Edmonton, based off that?
Well, it was one of the first contracts that I saw that reminded me, oh yeah, right, these guys know exactly where the cap's going over the next 3 seasons, right? I mean, like $9 million per to Jacob Chychrun in a vacuum. We're all like, what? And then we're like, okay, we have to reorient our brains to understanding that a defenseman who has his stats at his age is going to get this every time now. So now we have to just like save percentage. Like, when you look at save percentage and you're just like, that's a terrible save percentage. Well, no. In 2025, that's well above league average.
905 is good now. 905 is good now.
We got to do the same thing for contracts. The Bouchard situation is completely different. I mean, Chychrun was going to be a UFA at the end of this season. The Capitals obviously had to, compensate for that. The Oilers have a bit more controllability with Bouchard for the next couple of seasons before he goes UFA. And, by that time, when they might want to give him, the full 8-year deal or whatever, we'll have other contracts signed from other defensemen before that. And I mean, Ekblad's a free agent this summer. I I forget the timing of it, but we might have the Makar deal done by then too. So they will this deal influence
Bouchard's next contract. I mean, they all will. But ultimately, the Oilers have a little bit more runway if they want it with Bouchard, insofar as having to then reward him with the contract he'll be deserving.
The Oilers, without McDavid and Draisaitl, host the Dallas Stars tonight. How is Rantanen, or what are you hearing, or what are people saying? How is Rantanen fitting in Dallas compared to how he didn't really fit in Carolina?
Well, he seems to be having a little bit of an uptick in production, which is good news. I mean, the thing about the Stars that's sort of interesting is they make this Rantanen deal and they sign him. So obviously this season is very important, but he is part of their plans going forward. And that's good news, because if he was just a straight up rental, I'm a little bit nervous for them right now. Like, Dallas was my preseason cup pick, and I still think that at full strength, they could be the best team in the NHL when all systems are go. The problem is right now is that they're going to probably enter a playoff series without Miro Heiskanen, according to what Peter DeBoer has told us. So if he does play, he's going to be diminished. And oh, by the way, their first round opponent is a buzzsaw. Like, their first round opponent is maybe the best team in the West in the Colorado Avalanche, and the way they've played. You know, if we believe in Mackenzie Blackwood as a postseason goalie, then, you know, all of the augmentations they made at the trade deadline, McKinnon having what some consider to be an MVP season. I think Draisaitl still is the better skater amongst MVP candidates, and I still think that Connor Hellebuck is probably the MVP in my book above everybody this season. I think Dallas has a real tough draw, and I feel bad because, like, those two teams are so worthy of greatness, and they both are going to have to meet in the first round in that 2-3 series, and only one's going to survive. And whoever wins that series might be the team that ultimately comes out of the West.
Speaking of greatness that you mentioned there, Alexander Ovechkin buries another one last night. Winnipeg ends up clinching a playoff spot with the overtime victory there. This would be a major buzzkill if he only scores 5 goals the rest of the year and not 6, right? Like, he's got to get this thing done in the next 11 games.
You'd hope so. And if anyone, you know, I mean, I think he's shown the propensity of, once he has that carrot in front of him, he's just going to keep scoring until he gets the record this season. It's funny. We were talking about his pace before last night, and his pace had slipped to, if you took the 5-year average of his goals per game, it was going to kick over to next season. The other two, like this season's goals per game and his career's goals per game, were still on point for him to break the record in the last week of the season. And I think last week's goals probably reorients things, but he was creeping towards that based on the averages, maybe next season territory before scoring last night. I still think he breaks the record this season. Their last 4 games, I want to say, are the Blue Jackets twice, the Islanders, and then the Penguins in the season finale. I mean, it's setting up to be one of the greatest moments ever if it's Sid, Malkin, Ovechkin all on the ice in the season finale, and he breaks the record against the Penguins. Like, that'd be incredible. It'd be the perfect way for this story to end. We just have to hope that Ovi can finish the job this season. It'd be awesome to then open up next season with that being like the opening night storyline. Ovechkin breaks Gretzky's record on opening night. But at the same time, you never want to, throw this thing to chance. Like, he blows out his knee in the playoffs or something. Like, just finish the record. Let us have this moment, and then we can all move on.
What do you got coming down the pipe over at ESPN, buddy?
I've been on this trend of the penalties and power plays being down this season dramatically since like February. I've been kind of talking to people about it, and I think I'm ready to throw out some theories about why this is happening based on the conversations I've had. So look for that in the next couple of days.
Excellent. And is your meeting today? Are you wearing a robe? It looks like you're wearing a robe right now.
This is my fancy
it's like
corduroy
it's your sweater or whatever.
Corduroy jacket. Sweater. Yeah, it does look like a smoking jacket. Just I live in Brooklyn. It's like a 2-hour drive. I like to head up here occasionally and just get face to face with some people. You know how it is in a corporate culture, Dusty. You remember those days, don't you? Before you became a pirate and started doing this show.
No, to be honest with you, they never really met with us, man.
Dude, it's good to get up here and see some coworkers and sample the fine foods from the ESPN cafe. For those who don't know, like, ESPN is very much like a college campus. Like, there's There's a dining hall. There's like a gym. There's like basically every building is a dormitory with studios and newsrooms and stuff inside. So it's good to get up here and just say hey to people.
Yeah, that sounds cool.
Does it have a grotto as well? You kind of got that Hefner thing going on with the pipe.
There's a, let me tell you, with the 90 minutes I've just spent this week doing the sexual harassment training that's mandatory, like annually, I don't think there's a grotto.
There's not a grotto
Not
there.
that you know of yet.
Yeah, that was on
I'm pretty sure there's not
training. Like the grotto's been removed.
Maybe that's part of the video I haven't gotten to yet. What to do if you find yourself in the grotto, but I'm pretty sure there's not a grotto.
As always, buddy, we appreciate the time. We'll chat next week.
Anytime.
All right, there you go. That's Greg Wyshynski from ESPN. If you're watching over on YouTube right now, we're 27 likes away from smashing through 300. So hammer the thumbs up for us. That would be very much appreciated. Before we get to Lieutenant Eric's weekly rankings of power, let's tell you about RV Wars. They should, you know what? Because you can go online and do the scrolling thing for like the Star Wars scroll.
Yeah.
They should do that for RV Wars.
Well, if you go to the website, you do. Well, you scroll down with the bar. It's not as interesting, but you can kind of do it yourself. Kind of like a poor man's Star Wars.
Okay, that makes sense. But you could go on and put that in. RV Wars hitting Northside March 27th to the 30th at the old Lowe's building. Go
in an area of the city far, far away.
Go RV, Vision RV, and Arcan RV have joined forces for RV Wars. Take advantage of pre-tariff pricing on travel trailers, fifth wheels, motorhomes, and more. The last of the 2024 models are being cleared out. They're priced to move, I dare say. Make no payments for 6 months, OAC. That's on approved credit, I believe. Yeah. Now is time to buy with a special discount financing rates. Free admission with a donation to the food bank. 9603 165th Ave. 9603 165th Avenue for the RV Wars on the north side. That starts tomorrow.
Now do it all again in Darth Vader.
No, I was going to do it. Go to RV Wars, you will. It's no Ashley. It's no Ashley Collingbull, but
it's close.
Still pretty. It's pretty good.
Food bank donation get you.
Food bank donation. Donation to food bank. You will bring.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into Lieutenant Eric's weekly rankings of power. RV Wars.
It's a quick one.
It is.
Yeah,
okay.
Just 3. Top 3.
What? What is this? The top 3 now?
It's usually a 10, but
what is this? All right, Lieutenant Eric's weekly rankings of power. What are you ranking, buddy?
In celebration of opening day tomorrow, in which the Jays take on the Orioles. Opening day again. The Japan series, yes. The
That doesn't count.
It really doesn't.
So it's tomorrow. We're opening up on March 27th.
March 27. You got what is it here? Milwaukee Yankees, Orioles, Jays, yada yada yada. I'm gonna rank the top 3 Buck Martinez quote phrases.
Oh, that's a good one. Okay, yeah. All right, number 3.
Have a night. and then include Santander or whomever.
Alejandro Kirk.
Have a night, Alejandro Kirk.
Got his new deal last week.
Oh yeah. We discussed that.
I figured you
we
were
actually
talking about
spent an entire show breaking
It sounds like some phrase we'd want to discuss. All right, number 2.
Get up, ball.
Get up, ball. That's a good one. I'm trying to think if get up ball is number 2.
Swing and a drive.
Oh, swing and a drive.
Yeah.
Swing and a drive.
And I mean, there's others when he mentions Josh Donaldson's name eventually, or goes to Patty or something. But you get the point there. It'll just
that is a
Buck.
good one.
Buck and Shulman. The Jays have a great.
It's a great crew. That's a nice 1-2 punch right there.
Stand by to receive our transmission.
Here's the 2-2 pitch to Kirk. He hits another one high and deep to right. Get up, ball. Get out of here and gone.
Get up, ball. Get out of here and gone. There you go. That was a good one. All right. Should we snow report this thing?
Let's do it.
Should we snow report today for Marit?
You know why Fraser is going this weekend. You saw it in the report.
Going to Marmot.
Yeah, well,
Fraser going to Marmot.
Spring break
So
Marmot.
stoked. Like, winter's here. I'm stoked. You stoked?
Stoked.
Just
I'm
so stoked.
Yes.
I mean, it came down last night, what, a good 5 inches?
Last night, I think so. Something like that, and a couple feet the day before.
You've got a 5-foot base with 5 inches of freshie on top.
My goodness. Look at this.
Dear God.
Waking up to 6 centimeters of freshie overnight, calling for more snow tonight. And then the current forecast is calling for 22 centimeters on Thursday. Freshie up to your knees.
Fraser Eve.
March continues to deliver at Marmot. -3 mid-mountain, a high of 1 today. All chairs are spinning. 21 runs groomed overnight. Got 112 centimeter snow base, 277 centimeters for the season. And this weekend, they got the spring break party. Fraze will be in the house. And they got DJ Joey spinning beats in the lower chalet and some nice acoustic tunes by Pete Chernowski inside the Caribou Bar and Grill. Pete Chernowski, Bar and Grill. Bar and Grill. Only at Marmot.
My day. Fraser loves a good spring break party, eh?
Oh, nobody parties at spring break like Will Fraser. I mean, maybe, I don't know.
Oh no! Yeah.
I hope Fraze at spring break party up at Marmot is like when the guys go back in time on Hot Tub Time Machine. See Hot Tub Time Machine? Great movie. Very funny movie. And they go back and there's a great old chalet party there, yeah?
I can see him clad like neon apparel.
He would look good.
Chug. All the youngins are saying.
He could make that work. 16 likes away from changing 300. So if you're watching right now, hammer the thumbs up for us. Let's dive into the wrap for William Huff. If you want your place to look as sharp as ours, and ours looks mighty sharp, you get it done at William Huff. Just go to williamhuff.com. I just saw, what place did they just wrap? I saw it pop up on social media.
It's tough to, I mean,
they're wrapping so many.
So you kind of get lost in
They're wrapping so many. I can't remember what it was, but they just did another fantastic job. Fantastic job. All right, what did we learn on the show today, boys?
I learned what I'm buying each of you for Christmas this year. It's,
a back scratcher?
Quite simple. And I'll bring mine in tomorrow. It's an extendable one, so you can go lower back, high back, or whatever. And you doing it and trying it out on air will be a real gas. You're going to love it.
I'll probably laugh.
Because it's that third part. It's not your hand. Like it's something else.
It would be kind of neat.
Yeah.
You know what somebody should invent? And I probably shouldn't even say this because somebody will steal it, and it's my $1 million idea. But you should invent.
Patent it. Say patent
you should invent.
Say I'm patenting it.
I'm patenting. This is patent. It's a patent thing by me. Patented. A back scratcher, but it's on your chair. And it just like, you put it on your chair, but it's a removable one. So you can move from chair to chair. And then you put it on your chair.
Slam it on.
And then you just move it around.
Like a magnet.
And it back scratch it. You can even have it controlled by a device. And then you're like, oh, I'll just move it down a bit and scratch my back here. Oh, I'll bring it back up, scratch my back up here.
You might be studio back scratch guy after tomorrow.
You think so?
You might be. Yeah.
I don't mind that.
Us taking a pull off the vape, you scratching the back.
Yeah.
Lock shop is just.
It'd be great. I also learned today that nobody really knows what the definition of a superstar is.
No.
Because it's all different.
Yeah.
It all depends on what you think. I also learned that Trev's got a major beef with the Tief right now.
Oh,
and as somebody suggested, maybe it can only end in a rap together. Just how Clausen and Koob squashed their beef.
At William Huff. They'll rap at William Huff.
Perfect. Sound of the day today. Nothing against, the LeBron song that Trev played earlier. But we got to circle back around to a clip that's probably going to be tied into a text of the day today. This is Ashley Collingbull yesterday on
Daddy,
the
turn
Hangout.
away.
My precious. Our master will never take precious from us. Master cares about us. No. Master wants the precious for himself.
Great impression. She was awesome on the Hangout yesterday, but that might have been the highlight. So we're asking for your text today to get in on the A&W text of the day. Use that clip and tie it in. Win a gift certificate to A&W. Where people are asking, what makes the Teen Burger so iconic? Thick, juicy, grass-fed beef raised without the use of hormones or steroids. real cheddar cheese, mouth-watering bacon. Think lettuce, onion, tomato, pickles, all topped with A&W special teen sauce. Now stop thinking about it and go get one. Your nearest A&W. Belsey's in, and he's in earlier than usual on a Wednesday. What's going on here?
You get a coffee there.
Somebody got to get that guy a coffee.
Get a coffee there.
Go try a legendary A&W team burger today from Canada's original burger chain. And they've been around since 1956. Not bad. All right, so where do we go for text of the day today?
Well, Macramalla Wednesday, which is always a tough. But you mentioned the
there's
Gollum
just so
thing
many
too,
good Gollum texts today.
You got to kind of.
I had. I don't know if you put this guy's name in.
I only entered
Did you only enter meat today?
Man,
I had his number. Where is it?
Give me the key word.
Well,
what was the word?
Well, he had texted in as KDK. Here it is. Yeah. This is a good one. Here we go. I got it. KDK. Ryan Rashog discussing who gets the vacation days the minute the Oilers season is over.
No. Master wants the precious for himself.
You know, that's funny because as soon as the other season's over, Rashad goes on vacation for like 3 months. Doesn't do any other work.
It's the tooth.
That's a good one. All right, congratulations, KDK. You have won. You won text of the day for A&W. Yeah, here. This is my buddy Robert just texted me. Extendable back scratcher pen. What?
Now
like
you're
it's
talking.
A pen with a back scratcher on it.
That must be the $300 one.
That must be the one. He is a rich guy, I guess, because that's pretty nice. All right, there you go. That's your text of the day today.
Big pen.
KDK. Yeah, how do you write with that?
Got a strong wrist.
All right, changing 300. That's nice. Hit it, Trev. Let's do that.
Changing 100.
It was good to be back, boys. Still getting used to looking out there and not seeing the stand, the drawer. When
How's
did
the time change too? Are you kind of?
Oh, you know what? I'm dealing with it okay.
The jet lag is gone.
The flights were. So my wife is a sweetheart. She's a gem.
She really is.
So on the way down, I had a bunch of Aeroplan points, so we sat up front on the way down. But on the way back, we were back further, and we were on WestJet flying back, and we were set up. We had 3 seats on one side, and then 1 seat on the other. And Tam and the kids always sit together, and then I was just going to sit across from them.
Yeah.
In like row 16. And as I'm checking us in, I was going to try to move all 4 of us up to the emergency row because there were 4 seats open up there.
You love it, the emergency row.
I love that. I'm 6'5". I require the emergency row. Anyway, but kids can't sit in the emergency row. So I was like, don't worry about it. We'll just all stay back where we are. And my wife, she goes to me, why don't you just sit up there? I said, what? what's the saying? I was taken aback.
Taken aback.
Yeah. And I said, are you sure? Like, you're okay with me sitting up there in that emergency row with all the leg room and you're going to be jammed 5 rows back with the kids? She goes, yeah, but you're not doing anything when you're sitting across from us anyway. Outside of they can just look at you. Like, I'm still doing all the stuff with the kids.
Yeah.
So I said, okay. So I took it. So I sat emergency row with nobody next to me.
Oh.
And she was sitting back 5 rows back with the kids.
This is like Jerry and Lane in the first class. In the,
it's a very similar thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was nice. But and she didn't even guilt trip me after or anything. I'm sure it's coming at some point.
She's tucked that in the back
There's
pocket.
something like
Yeah,
5 years from now, she'll be like, "Remember that time you sat emergency row?"
Yeah, you're really in it now.
Yeah, I know.
Well, you enjoyed it though. Hey, it was well worth it.
Surveyor Brad is asking, who's better, Ashley's Gollum or Dusty's Jar Jar Binks?
It's a soft.
It's a close race.
Yeah,
it's a close race. All right, the hangout's coming out. I know Matt Awanik's on it, and I know Belzy's on it. Who else is on the hangout today? Brundon's on the hangout today as well. Tommy Gazzola will be joining me at Boston Pizza today.
Yeah, a little lunch.
Lock Shop at 11.
Westgate,
and then
Westgate
Oil Street.
Pizza,
Westgate
yeah.
Boston Pizza, right by the mall there. Swing on by. Tommy's a regular there. The pre and post game will be there tomorrow night. So back-to-back days at the Westgate Boston Pizza. Nobody's complaining about that. So join us today. I'll be there for Lock Shop at 11 and then Oil Stream at high noon today as well. All coming at you from the Boston Pizza Westgate location. For YouTube Trev, Lieutenant Eric, I am Dustin Nielsen. Oilers and Stars tonight should be a good one. We'll continue to get you ready throughout the whole day right here and only here on Edmonton Sports Talk. I'll talk to you from Boston Pizza on the Lock Shop. Take it easy.